Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today I've got a collection of clips ranging from strange and otherworldly creatures to death rays that could potentially end the world. Ready? Let's jump in. Starting today's episode, we've got one of those clips that makes you take a second look to make sure that you were seeing right. Take a look. What do you think that is? We all agree it's not every day you step out and see a strange creature sitting in a tree outside your house. The individual who uploaded this was very confused and perhaps a little scared. She also wanted answers, as she wanted to know if she was safe or had to move. Once it went live, different individuals had different theories on what that might be and what might be going on. Some thought it had to be an otherworldly being observing the individual from the trees, while others thought they were nothing more than mango thieves hiding in the truth when they heard her coming out. Mango thieves sound logical, but those eyes don't look like they belong to a human, at least from my point of view. But then again, you guys have seen the clip, so what do you think? Camping can be an exhilarating adventure, but it's definitely not for the faint of heart, and this story is a perfect example of why. Imagine being out in the wilderness, enjoying the serenity of nature, only to be jolted awake in the dead of the night by unsettling noises.
Ai, meu Deus do céu! Vocês estão entendendo o quanto de jacaré tem aqui? Ai, meu Deus. Eu tô na barraca literalmente pra acampar. Vamos dormir aqui, guys? Teu cu. Ferrou meu...
A man experienced this exact scenario during his camping trip. As he cautiously peeked outside his tent, he was met with a heart-stopping sight as a group of crocodiles just lying in wait right outside his tent. The sheer terror of realizing you're surrounded by these ancient predators with nothing but a thin layer of fabric separating you from them is enough to make anyone stay off camping forever. As much as nature can be beautiful and calming, it's stories like these that remind us of its unpredictable and sometimes dangerous side. Personally, I don't know how we manage to stay calm, but for me, that would be a hard pass. Would you take the risk, or would this be your last camping trip too?
Ai, meu Deus do céu! Vocês estão entendendo o quanto de jacaré tem aqui? Ai, meu Deus. Eu tô na barraca literalmente pra acampar. Vamos dormir aqui, guys? Teu cu. Ferrou meu...
An observer shared some intriguing footage they captured one night that's been sparking a lot of curiosity. In the video, there's this shiny, oddly shaped figure hovering in the sky. Initially, the observer thought it might just be a bright star, but as they zoomed in, it became clear that this was no ordinary celestial object. The figure has a strange, almost otherworldly appearance that has left many baffled. I even asked my team for their thoughts, but no one could definitively say what it was, so naturally I did some digging in the comments section where people shared their theories. One person speculated that it could be a portal opening up to who knows where. Another commenter confidentially labeled it as a UFO, which is always a possibility when it comes to mysterious sky sightings. But the comment that piqued my interest was from someone who suggested that this could be a plasma being. Now, I don't know about you, but the idea of a living entity made of plasma floating through the sky is both fascinating and a little unsettling. What do you think? When it comes to Bigfoot sightings, we usually hear about an ape-like creature standing around 8 feet tall, almost human-like, covered in hair. However, the image you're looking at right now challenges that common description. This blurry headshot was taken years ago by the late Scott Carpenter, who firmly believed that he had captured footage of a Bigfoot. But here's where it gets interesting. This creature's face doesn't match the typical Bigfoot description. Instead, it has an eerie, almost human-like appearance with features that resemble something wearing an eye mask that covers only the upper half of the face. The chin, mouth, and jaw look distinctly human. Scott Carpenter suggested that Bigfoot might look different depending on where they're from. Could this be true? Are we looking at a regional variation of Bigfoot, or is this something entirely different? What are your thoughts? Next, we've got this video that was taken in Indonesia. A woman was out on what looked like a farm, and she captured something truly strange. There was this bizarre-looking object flying over the plants, and it appeared to be on fire. As it hovered, it seemed almost otherworldly. Now here's the part that gets even weirder. You can see the woman holding the object afterward. It's greenish, almost like a fruit, except it's twisted and coiled like a snake. In the center of this coiled mass is a small, oddly shaped wooden piece. The whole thing looks like something straight out of a dark folktale. I was confused by this footage at first, unsure of what to make of it, until I saw a comment that made my jaw drop. It's a kind of long-range missile sent by someone to harm or kill the targeted person. Black magic. Apparently, this could be some type of black magic weapon designed to bring harm to someone from a distance. I know. The idea that such a thing could exist is chilling, but what other explanations can you have for this? CGI? What if it's truly real?
So I'm walking along here, and I run into this tree with this stupid grin on his face. It's just like the most perfect tree face I've ever seen.
The man behind his camera found this tree in the woods. That's pretty eerie, isn't it? Trees aren't supposed to have faces, but here we are, looking at a tree that seems to be staring right back at us. The natural placement of these holes almost perfectly mimics a human face, making it seem like the tree is alive in a way that's more than just its usual biological sense. What's even more intriguing is that it doesn't seem like anyone carved those features into the tree. They look completely natural, as if the tree just grew that way. It's almost like something out of a fairy tale or folklore where trees come to life and have their personalities. Could this just be a coincidence, a quirk of nature, or is there something more to it? What do you think?
He's like a little less happy, you know, he's just more is what it is kind of tree.
The original poster of the footage mentioned that this was caused by a lightning strike. In the video, you can see a forest with trees, and out of nowhere, a patch of the ground lights up in a bright orange glow. As the light fades, smoke begins to rise from the tree. The strange thing is that you don't actually see any lightning strike, which is surprising, just this sudden burst of light. Then I noticed the comments, and they took a different turn. Many people were suggesting that this wasn't a natural lightning strike at all. Some were claiming it could be a directed energy weapon, while others thought it might be some kind of laser weapon. For those who don't know, a DEW is a type of weapon that emits highly focused energy, including lasers, microwaves, or particle beams, to damage or destroy its target. Unlike traditional weapons, DEWs don't rely on physical projectiles. They use energy to cause damage, which makes them silent and difficult to detect until the impact occurs. So is this a DEW, as people are speculating, or is this really just lightning? This video was taken by a father who was at a park with his kids enjoying a day out when things took a creepy turn. The kids suddenly noticed something or someone in the woods nearby and were so spooked that they ran toward their dad. Sensing something was off, the father quickly pulled out his phone and walked toward the tree to get a better look at whatever had frightened his children. As he approached, he captured something truly bizarre. A strange, pale head, elongated far beyond what any human could have, just popping back into the bushes. The shape and movement were unnatural, almost otherworldly. What could this be? Is it an alien, some kind of mysterious cryptid, or just some creep? Technology is advancing at an incredible pace, often in ways we don't fully realize until it's already in use. Recently, I came across something that really made me stop and think. Did you know that the Dallas Cowboys are using facial recognition technology to verify their employees? Yeah, you heard that right. The NFL is rolling out this technology across all 32 teams and in 30 stadiums. But it doesn't stop there. The Dallas police are also using facial recognition to keep tabs on criminals. If they can track people like this, imagine the scale when it's applied in a massive stadium where the system is monitoring every single person in real time. It's almost mind-boggling when you think about it. On one hand, this is a brilliant move for security, ensuring that everyone from employees to fans is who they say they are, but on the other hand, it's also quite unsettling. The idea that every face in a crowd is being scanned and tracked is unsettling. Soon this technology will go worldwide, and there goes our privacy. It's a good initiative in terms of safety, but the implications are definitely something worth pondering. What do you think? A videographer was out in the woods when he captured something truly bizarre. The footage shows a slender, incredibly tall creature with an elongated head and small black eyes. Its arms are so long that they reach well beyond its knees. The creature stands still, facing the camera for a few moments before quietly walking away into the trees. Could this be a real alien encounter, or is it just another fake? The footage is eerily convincing, but with the level of special effects today, it's hard to tell. What do you think? This footage was taken in a hospital, and it shows something rather unexpected. There's a thin trail of blood on the floor starting from behind a cabinet, and when you follow it, you find the cause, a small leech. But what is a leech doing in a hospital room? One comment sheds some light on this fascinating scenario. Been there, seen it. We used leeches on reattached fingers and toes to promote healing by removing waste products and ensuring blood flow to the surgical area. They are amazing little creatures, and many appendages have been saved by them. However, as they do their job, the leeches expand until they fall off. If I didn't get back to the room by the time they fell off, I'd often have to follow the blood trail to find the little guys. It's incredible to think that these tiny creatures play such a significant role in modern medicine. Leeches are used to help ensure blood flow to surgical areas, especially in cases where fingers or toes have been reattached. Their natural ability to promote healing is something doctors have harnessed for years. It's fascinating and a bit eerie to imagine following a blood trail in a hospital to find one of these little helpers. I wonder what other surprising uses they have in their medical field. Julius and I have gone back and forth on this footage, and after many hours, we still can't seem to agree on what it could be. The footage, shared by a man, shows something truly unusual, a spiraling phenomenon in the sky. You can see the clouds being gradually sucked into this spiral, and it's definitely not a tornado. As the video goes on, an orb appears and flies directly into the spiral, after which the atmosphere seems to clear up. This whole scene feels so real to me, almost like some sort of portal opening up, but Julius thinks it's a fake. Now, I'm usually open to speculation, and he could very well be right, but there's just something about this footage that keeps me intrigued. What do you guys think? Is this a real-life portal or just another clever hoax? Let me know in the comments.
No.
When you buy your own ticket, you can put that you're a kid, or you can do senior citizen. Do y'all see that?
What was that?
Did you see that?
Yeah, what was that?
This lady was allegedly at a gym recording and making vlogs. You know, the thing that most individuals in the gym do instead of working out. Yeah, that. She was out there doing exactly that when she noticed something transparent come out of her and leave. Obviously, if anyone genuinely has such an experience, they'd be shaken up and quite scared, which is how she reported feeling. The big question on hers and everyone else's mind when she uploaded the clip was, what is that? Do we have an answer now? Well, no, but we can speculate. Aaron thinks it could be an apparition if the clip is genuinely true. Julius refused to comment because he thinks it makes him sound negative. There were some in the comments, however, who said what I imagine Julius would have loved to say. It's not real. There were some who, however, shared theories on what it could be. As you can see, some of the comments were nice, saying it might be water vapor, whereas others thought it was a vape. There were some mean comments too, like this person who said it was probably a ghost or spirit leaving her body because she wouldn't shut up. What say you? What do you also think about this?
Do y'all see that?
What was that?
Did you see that?
Yeah, what was that?
Did you know many individuals who have come across Bigfoot sightings in places of sleep have always noticed rock stacks? This clip was uploaded to one of our paranormal platforms by Rodney, who stated that he was out exploring and capturing as much of the outdoors as possible. After capturing and recording to his heart's content, he went home to review his work and adventure, and that's when he saw it. Although quite a distance from him, he could see it peeking and hiding in the bushes. Pay attention to the upper left corner, else you might miss it. Now, when this was uploaded, Bigfoot enthusiasts were excited and wouldn't stop talking about it. Those, just like you and I, were skeptical and stated that the quality of the clip was too low to determine if what we were seeing was indeed Bigfoot. But then again, you've seen the clip yourself, so what do you think? There's news going around that the World Economic Forum is considering a shift in our primary source of protein, from animals to insects. Yeah, you heard that right, insects. At first glance, this might seem like a sustainable and innovative solution, but there's more to the story. You would think that this decision is being made with our best interests in mind, but there are some serious concerns that need to be addressed. Many insects are known to carry parasites that can be extremely harmful to humans. These parasites can cause a range of health issues, making the idea of insects as a primary food source quite worrisome. But that's not all. Insects also contain a substance called chitin, which is a tough, fibrous material found in their exoskeletons. Unlike other animals, humans have a hard time digesting chitin. Some studies even suggest that chitin could be carcinogenic to humans, potentially leading to severe health risks if consumed regularly. So while this proposed switch to insect-based protein might sound like a step towards sustainability, it's a decision that raises many questions. Is this really the best option for our health? Or are we overlooking some significant dangers in the pursuit of an alternative protein source? While you think about it, take a look at this clip. Do you know what that is? Well, you can't say no because this is our bonus clip for the day. Your job is simple. Try to identify the creature in the clip and give us a unique characteristic about it. The best answer will receive a shout out from Julius if it impresses him enough. So all the best. How long do you keep your earphones in and your phone plastered to your ear while on a call? You might want to listen to what this man has to say.
iPhones, when most people put it to their head, up to 2 hours later, 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch into the brain tissue is still heated.
He claims that the heat from our devices is causing ear tumors. According to him, prolonged exposure to the electromagnetic radiation emitted by our phones can lead to neoplastic activity, which is essentially the formation of tumors. It makes you think, doesn't it? Now, it seems like everything we use daily is potentially toxic and harmful to us. We rely so heavily on our devices, but at what cost? Is it worth risking our health for the convenience and connectivity that these gadgets provide? This is definitely something to consider the next time you pick up your phone or pop in your earphones for an extended call.
Tissue is still heated from using the phone against your ear. And when you repeatedly heat those things, then tissue actually starts to become neoplastic. We have a pair of surgeons here in town in Dallas. They're busy 5 days a week, booked every single day, all day, taking out parotid gland tumors from people having AirPods, Bluetooth devices, because it's actually causing neoplastic activity. So EMFs absolutely decrease life expectancy.
A tourist was out camping in the woods of Lancashire, London. Why, you ask? Well, after a long day of hiking, he had to find a spot to stay for the night. As he had his camera rolling, he suddenly felt the unnerving sensation of being followed. When he turned to look behind him, he saw something truly unsettling. A creature covered in thick, dark fur creeping up on him. The creature walked on 2 legs with its face obscured by the shadows, but it was clear that this wasn't a Bigfoot. So what exactly is it? Well, some believe this was a sighting of the elusive Dogman, but given how close this creature was to the man, it raises a chilling question. If this was real, how did the man escape unharmed? This makes me question the authenticity of the footage. What do you think, though? Is this sighting real or just another fake? This footage was taken over the shores of Indonesia, and it's been causing quite a stir online. A man was taking a walk along the beach when he spotted something unusual falling from the sky. It was a long, dark object with a trail of smoke following behind it. Naturally, he captured the moment on video and it quickly went viral. The mysterious object has sparked a lot of debate, with even experts stepping in to assure the public that they are investigating it. Despite the official interest, no one has been able to identify what it is. Some people speculate that it might be some sort of balloon, but that theory hasn't been confirmed. Others suggest it could be something more out of the ordinary, perhaps even something extraterrestrial. Whatever it is, the lack of a clear explanation has only added to the intrigue. But what do you think about this mysterious object? What could it be? A woman was enjoying a peaceful day at the beach when something caught her eye. Out in the distance, just beyond the breaking waves, she noticed a figure in the water. At first, it seemed like an ordinary swimmer, but as you look closer, you realize this is no human. The creature's upper body was humanoid, with arms that emerged eerily from the water and a head that appeared to scan the shoreline. But then, without warning, it leapt out of the sea, revealing its lower half, a rigid, fish-like tail unlike anything she'd ever seen. The tail wasn't smooth or flowing like that of a dolphin, but instead seemed almost mechanical, stiff, and oddly proportioned to its upper body. As quickly as it had appeared, the creature plunged back into the depths. Was this a glimpse of the mythical mermaid, or perhaps something else entirely? An unknown species that defies explanation. What do you think? Someone stumbled upon this strange and airy figure floating in the sky. The figure appeared to resemble a person dressed in a long robe with their arms stretched out in front of them as if they were reaching out towards something or perhaps someone. This naturally left many people puzzled. Could this be some sort of advanced hologram, an elaborate trick of the light, or something even more mysterious? It's hard to say, but this is one I would love to hear your thoughts on. Have you ever seen a skinwalker in action? No? Well, today's your lucky day. Enjoy. This was recorded by a man out in the countryside. At least, that's the impression the man who uploaded it gave. As he was driving, they had lights out looking around. I'm not sure why, but this allowed them to capture something rather unusual. They caught glimpses of a creature that seemed to morph from a humanoid to an animalistic state and vice versa. This clip is a tad confusing based on the extra edit, but you do see it, right? Now, the big question on everyone's mind when this was uploaded was, how's this possible? It turns out the answer is simple: skinwalker. As to whether everyone agrees, that's another thing on its own, but then again, you've seen the clip yourself, so what do you think? This is yet another bizarre sighting captured in the sky, and it's truly otherworldly. The footage shows random streaks of light flashing across the sky, and when these lights appear, they illuminate the surroundings, revealing strange, colorful forms that resemble a maze of odd, rock-like structures. The scene is undeniably beautiful, but it also raises many questions. Could this be a case of CGI? Or is there a chance that something more unusual is happening, perhaps something beyond our current understanding? While the beauty of the imagery is captivating, the possibility that it could be fake cannot be ignored. In fact, a number of individuals think it's fake. But what about you? This intriguing footage was captured by a pilot flying a Boeing 747 on the night of August 4th, 2024. In the vast expanse of the night sky, they noticed something highly unusual, a strange light that was much larger and brighter than the surrounding stars. What made it even more bizarre was its movement. Unlike the steady, predictable paths of stars as satellites, this light darted rapidly from one location to another, almost as if it had a mind of its own. The crew was completely mesmerized by the sight. The light's erratic behavior didn't align with anything they could logically explain. It wasn't behaving like a star, which is stationary relative to the Earth, nor did it resemble a satellite which follows a smooth, consistent orbit. This led them to speculate that what they were witnessing might be something out of this world, a UFO. The possibility of encountering something truly unknown, something beyond our current understanding, sent a wave of excitement and a bit of fear through the crew. After all, it's not every day that you see something in the sky that defies all expectations and explanations. Could this be evidence of extraterrestrial life, or is there a more earthly explanation for this mysterious light?
Okay, so I will say I'm stupid for drinking. That knife fell out of that little knife container thingy. No. 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 This is all because, dude, this is getting dangerous, bro. You're gonna cut yourself.
A man captured this chilling footage in the middle of the night when he went into the kitchen and found one of the knives lying over a bowl. As he was talking, something truly disturbing happened. One of the knives from the knife rack suddenly flung out and embedded itself perfectly into the wooden floor. Now let's pause for a moment. The knife was stored in such a way that it's practically impossible for it to just uproot from the rack on its own, let alone fly out and land so precisely into the wood. The physics just doesn't add up. What makes this even more unsettling is that the man behind the camera is calmly communicating with whatever entity might be present. There's no panic in his voice, which might make you wonder, could this be real or just an elaborate hoax?
No. 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 This is all because, dude, this is getting dangerous, bro. You're gonna cut yourself.
What's this? Oh shit, this is fucking cool. Whoa, holy shit.
A man set up an interesting little project in his house. He took a glass cup, placed the stem of a plant in it, added some white and clear pebbles, and filled it with water. It looked like he was trying to grow something, a simple, peaceful little setup, but what he didn't expect was what happened next. To his surprise, a tiny fish started swimming around in the cup. This was like after months that he had made it, and he just noticed the fish. The strange part, this fish is completely transparent, almost invisible, and he's no idea where it came from. It wasn't something he placed in the cup, and it definitely wasn't part of his original plan. The man is baffled, and now he's left wondering, what kind of fish is this and how did it get there? Could it have somehow emerged from the plant or the pebbles? Is it some kind of rare or unknown species? Or is there a more ordinary explanation that he's overlooking? If anyone out there knows what type of fish this could be or how it might have appeared in the cup, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Shit, this is fucking cool. Whoa, holy shit.
A man was parked outside a hospital after visiting a loved one when something caught his eye. Just as he was about to drive off, he noticed a strange sight and quickly took out his phone to record it. Emerging from the entrance was a human-like figure, almost like white smoke slowly drifting out. It wasn't a person, and it definitely wasn't fog or steam from the building. It moved with purpose, almost as if it had a mind of its own. The shape was distinct, resembling a person walking right out of the hospital doors, but it had an otherworldly, ethereal quality to it. Did this man just capture footage of a ghost? It sure looks like it, and with a setting as eerie as a hospital known for its connection to life and death, it's hard not to wonder if he encountered something supernatural. Hospitals are often rumored to be haunted, with stories of lingering spirits who have unfinished business or simply can't move on. Could this be one of those spirits? Now, what do we have here? This man was standing on this very short pole with his body hunched backwards, and there's no sign of a harness, rope, or any visible support. It's almost as if gravity has taken a break just for him. Is this some kind of black magic at work, or is this guy just exceptionally skilled at balancing his weight in a way that defies logic? The more you look at it, the stranger it gets. How is he managing this without toppling over? I simply have no words, and I don't want to get Julius involved, so what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. We don't know exactly where this footage was taken, but the person behind the camera couldn't resist pulling out their phone to capture this really terrifying scene. It was a windy night, and it seemed like a storm was about to roll in. You could hear the thunder rumbling in the distance, but what followed was far from ordinary. Instead of the usual flashes of lightning, the clouds lit up with a fiery orange glow, almost as if they were igniting from within, then quickly plunged back into darkness. This eerie phenomenon repeated itself, lighting up the sky in bursts of orange flame, making the scene look like something straight out of a nightmare. The contrast between the natural sound of thunder and the unnatural, almost otherworldly glow in the clouds is truly unsettling. What could cause such a strange occurrence? Is it some kind of rare weather phenomenon, or is there something more mysterious at play here?
Por eso es muy importante durante el entrenamiento y cuando firman el juramento que ellos están confirmando que no van a ser partidistas.
In this video, something truly bizarre happens during a live news interview. As the reporter speaks to the camera, a man suddenly appears out of nowhere right behind the woman being interviewed. The atmosphere around him seems to ripple or wobble as if he just stepped out of some sort of portal or dimensional rift. It's as if he wasn't there one moment and then in the blink of an eye he materialized out of thin air. The way the air seems to distort around him is really strange, like the fabric of reality itself was disturbed. This has left many people wondering, did this man just time travel? Did he step through a portal from one dimension? Or is there some other explanation for this eerie phenomenon? The person behind the camera was passing by a closed shop with large glass windows. At first glance, you might think those are just stains or spots on the walls and floor, but not. Those are all insects. Would you look at that? Insects are crawling all over the walls and covering the floor like a living carpet. It's hard to tell exactly what kind of insects they are, but the sight is undeniably disturbing. The way they blanket the entire area makes the scene almost surreal, like something out of a horror movie. But you have to ask, why are so many insects gathered in one place? Is it some kind of infestation? Anyone with answers is allowed to educate the rest of us. Here we have another swarm of insects, this time captured by a man working out in a field. Just look at that. This happened in Texas. The sight alone is overwhelming, but the sound is even more unsettling. You can hear the swarm buzzing loudly, almost like a roar, as if moving through the air. It's as if the entire field is alive with these insects, creating a scene that's both fascinating and terrifying. Swarming insects like this are not uncommon, especially in warmer climates, but witnessing it up close like this is something else entirely. The sheer number of them, combined with that intense buzzing sound, makes for an experience that's hard to forget. A homeowner was getting ready to retire for the night. As he turned off the lights, preparing to settle in, something outside the window caught his eye. Curious and a bit unsettled, he turned off the lights again, plunging the room into darkness to get a better look. And there, crouched in the shadows, was a figure. At first, it looked like a human, but there was something deeply unsettling about it. The figure was pale, completely naked, and its movements were anything but normal. The moment it realized the man was watching, it began crawling rapidly on the ground, moving straight toward the house. Panic set in as the homeowner quickly moved away from the window, his heart racing. The footage ends abruptly, leaving us in suspense, wondering what happened next. But one thing is for sure, that creature did not look like it was the next-door neighbor. What could it have been? Next, we have another group of YouTubers, this time from the channel Lomar Men's, who went into the Dagger Woods deep in the night to investigate the alleged sightings of Wendigos, but got more than they bargained for. In the footage, we see a guy and a girl filming with their cameras when all of a sudden they are spooked by a strange noise. Instead of taking the hint and aborting their mission, these guys followed the sound deeper into the woods. As they got nearer, they noticed small rocks being thrown at them from deep in the woods, but that was still not enough warning. The crew ventured deeper into the woods when suddenly one of them fell to the ground in terror after spotting something in the darkness.
This is gonna be an adventure and a half. Whoa, 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 whoa.
What?
Hello?
Do you see something dark?
Something was just by that tree.
Unfortunately, the camera didn't capture what he saw, but his petrified reaction speaks volumes. Do you think he saw the Wendigo he came looking for, or he spotted something far more sinister? Or could it be that this was all a hoax for the sake of garnering views? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Do you believe in ghosts? If you've ever answered no, then it's perhaps because you haven't come across our next footage. Watch.
Right there, looked like something dark formed.
In this clip, a female YouTuber who is out looking for a sense of the supernatural starts feeling like there's a strange presence out with her in the backyard. She senses a presence watching her from the darkness, lurking with an ulterior motive to invade her space. Undeterred, she remains in the backyard, attempting to discern the nature of the presence. After scanning the area with a flashlight with no results, she switches to an alternative approach using a spirit box. Just in case you're unfamiliar with it, it's a device believed to facilitate communication with the deceased. Some way, somehow, this approach appears to yield results, as she receives signals and responses from whatever entity is present. The spirit box transmits phrases like, "We're still protecting you," "dying," and these unsettling responses affirm the presence of something beyond the ordinary, validating her initial instincts. Is there truly another world out there, and are her ancestors reaching out to save her from evil? Could it be another entity altogether making fun of her, or is the whole thing simply an elaborate hoax? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. We'd love to hear them, especially if you have experience with this kind of thing. Next, we have rather scary footage. One thing I think it'd be best before you saw or rather heard yourself. Don't worry, you'll understand soon. Did you hear it? It's not a growl, not a howl, not a roar, but something in between, something primal. The sheer weight and depth of the sound hint at the presence of something large. It also sounds like something that commands attention and respect. The owner of the bone-chilling footage is convinced that what they've captured is none other than the legendary Bigfoot, the elusive giant of the woods. The footage was taken by a hiker deep in the heart of the woods, embarking on an adventure that would soon turn hair-raising. As he traverses the wilderness, the tranquility is shattered by the eerie cry that pierces through the natural symphony of the forest. In the world of cryptids and unexplained mysteries, every sound and every rustle in the underbrush holds the potential for discovery. Could this haunting cry indeed belong to the enigmatic Bigfoot? It's a question that stirs the imagination and leaves us pondering what other secrets are hidden within the vast expanse of the forest. Now, let's take a look at this video clip where an unexpected creature boldly ventures into unfamiliar territory. With the voices heard in this video, we can say this animal is in human terrain. What is this animal, you might ask? This creature, seen navigating a disheveled working area, resembles a furless ferret. It's like an aging adult ferret, a tamed species belonging to the Mustelidae family. Like other mustelids, they have long and slender physiques. Take a closer look at it, though. I feel that this creature is much larger than your typical ferret. What do you think? Prepare yourself for a chilling sight, a colossal humanoid figure, its presence hauntingly etched against the backdrop of an open field. The capture you see was uploaded by the user Kewasibor on YouTube. In the capture, we see a creature that looks emaciated with pale skin and sunken eyes. Its mouth is slightly ajar, as if in a silent cry. The uploader didn't give any context to the image, leaving the viewers itching with speculations about what this creature could be. It's reminiscent of the Fallout series, but the question remains, is this a hoax or a genuine sighting of a starving giant? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. In Sonoma, California, a hiker was having a blissful day strolling through the lush green landscapes when he unexpectedly encountered an unsettling presence that sent shivers down his spine. He quickly concealed himself among the tall grass, instinctively reaching for his device to capture this bizarre encounter. In the footage, a humanoid creature comes into view, pacing back and forth with an aura of aggression, all the while vigorously swinging its long arms. The creature looms at an imposing height of approximately 7 or more feet, and its entire body appears to be covered in a dense coat of brown fur. Overwhelmed by the encounter, the frightened hiker couldn't help but wonder if he'd stumbled upon the legendary enigma known as Bigfoot. The footage points to that, but its authenticity is one that remains up for debate. What do you think? Is this a true video of Bigfoot, or is someone just messing with the paranormal community? Now, in our previous bonus footage, we took the mystery for our bonus footage up a notch, and we want to maintain it. Can you identify the creature in that trail cam capture? If you can, head over to the comments section and tell us. The first accurate comment could win a feature in one of our upcoming videos. Trust me when I tell you this is an opportunity you don't want to miss. Start your comment with bonus footage so we easily see it. All the best. Next, we have a trail cam capture that's gonna have even the most experienced zoologists scratching their heads. Have a look. What do you see in the image? A gorilla? Well, hold on, take a closer look. It does appear to have the bulk bodies typically associated with our large primates, but a closer look and you'd realize it's not a gorilla. It's actually something more. While it might look like a gorilla casually moving in the woods, you sit back, take a critical look, and realize that it might actually be a larger creature crouching on the ground. Which creature do we know that's large enough to look like a gorilla when it crouches? A Bigfoot. The next thing is the footage authentic? That will let you decide. Have you ever heard of the legend of the giant wolf? And no, I'm not referring to Fenrir of Norse mythology. I'm referring to an actual wolf that exists. Have a look. The footage starts off as a recording of some nice lands, but it soon ends up revealing something a bit more. While the video starts off by showing a canine running towards the one filming, we soon realize once it's in full view that it's large. But how could a wolf be so big? If you have to wonder that, then clearly you haven't heard of the legendary Wahila. The Wahila is a creature of northern legend, a creature that inhabits the remote wilderness of the Arctic tundra. It's often described as a massive wolf, larger and more imposing than any other wolf species. Its fur is typically dark, and its presence is an eerie and rare sight in the frozen wilderness. I don't know about you, but looking at this creature, I have a feeling that the creature in the footage might be a wahila. What do you think? Now for something bone-chilling, literally. If you have a weak stomach, you might want to skip ahead for the next 30 seconds. If you are still here, it means you can stomach it. This video clip exposes a haunting scene in a graveyard. In this scene, we see open graves and scattered bones that paint a grim picture. In the footage, two individuals discuss the disturbing trend of townspeople raiding the graveyard for items used in rituals. Imagine having your grave robbed and exposed in the open because someone robbed it. Imagine your bones being put in polythene bags and left in there. But why would people want to rob the graves of others? Why steal their bones? What motivates such actions, and how desperate must people be to resort to breaking into a sacred resting place for malevolent purposes? Does anyone care to explain? Because this is simply unbelievable. As this cemetery's secrets are exposed, it leads me to wonder, are all other cemeteries the same? Do their deceased suffer the same fate as these unfortunate souls by having their remains desecrated? We invite you to share your insights into the comments section, particularly the consequences of such acts in your culture. Before we move on, though, a moment of silence for the departed souls. Apart from the mysteries of Bigfoot, many things also leave the internet stuck in awe and confusion. One such intriguing footage was captured by a UK-based YouTuber known for his channel, Exploring with Danny. Danny, known for his explorations of abandoned places, recently ventured into an abandoned church. Little did he know this visit would take an unexpected turn. I'll not say much, I'll let the video speak for itself.
Hello? Hello?
Maybe Danny didn't get the memo of the word abandoned, but that strange pale person in the footage just gave him enough of a reminder to send him running away. What's your take on this video? Do you think it was staged, or did Danny genuinely encounter something unexpected? Judging from his reaction, it looks like he had quite the scare. But is it authentic, though? I'll let you decide that. If you thought the previous video was wild, then it's clearly because you haven't seen this. In this footage, we see a black-furred creature being gently lulled to sleep. As if that's not already weird enough, a few seconds into the video, it appears to be working. The small creature has human-like hands, complete with black-colored nails. The creature's fingers appear smaller than those of a human. Its face has a cream and pinkish complexion, and its eyes, opening and closing, reveal black pupils. It's making a valiant effort to stay awake, as if wanting to have the last laugh rather than succumb to sleep. What species of creature is it, though? You might be tempted to say monkey and ape, and while you might not be too far from the truth, I beg to differ. If you asked me, I'd say it does resemble a baby Bigfoot. Wouldn't you agree? In the video, we observe a woman carrying her baby as she returns home from town. As she enters her house, an unfamiliar man follows closely behind, attempting to enter the house. Fortunately for the woman, the door is locked by the time he reaches it. An eerie detail is that the man is wearing a face mask. Now, let's watch the video once more. It becomes evident that the man had observed the unsuspecting mother walking home with her child. Upon closer examination, as you focus on the trees behind her, you'll notice that the man had been lurking behind her. This indicates that he may have been stalking her from town to her home or concealing himself in the trees, anticipating her return. His swift movement towards her door suggests an alarming urgency, hinting at intentions that are far from benign. This footage serves as a stark reminder for all of us to prioritize our safety and remain vigilant of our surroundings. While we're attentive to the mysteries and uncertainties, let's not forget to maintain an extra level of awareness concerning the humans around us. It's a solemn realization that human intentions can pose a greater threat than the spectral fears we often harbor. Now moving on to another unsettling video. Take a look at this. This footage was taken in the backyard of the uploader. It starts off like your ordinary everyday trail cam footage in the stillness of the sunset. But then, if you pay close attention, you'll notice a creature moving by like a gust of wind. Did you see that? Let's take a closer look. There, you see some sort of ghostly figure with its back hunched over. You can see its head and hunched back. It's evident that whatever it is, it's bipedal, that is, it's walking on two legs. The creature appears almost dust-like, and as quickly as it appeared, it disappeared. What could that be? No one knows, not even the uploader. I'm tempted to think this is nothing but an elaborate hoax, given the blurry nature of the footage, but perhaps that's just me. What do you think? Hunting can be quite an exciting pastime, and part of the thrill lies in the anticipation of what you might encounter. But it seems like some folks took their hunting endeavors to a whole new level. Out in the picturesque hiking trails of Utah, things took a dark turn when someone decided to turn the area into a booby trap playground, making it perilous for unsuspecting hikers. The situation got so dire that the police had to step in, launching an investigation that ultimately led them to apprehend 2 suspects. These individuals had constructed what can only be described as a deadly contraption, armed with sharp stakes and hefty stones weighing in at a whopping 9 kilograms. These traps were cleverly concealed, and had the police not intervened promptly, we might have had some serious injuries or worse. I suspect worse. The suspects claimed they'd set these traps with the intention of catching an animal, but let's be honest, it all sounds a bit fishy, doesn't it? It's almost like they were gearing up for a face-off with some mythical beast, be it Bigfoot or even, dare I say it, a vampire, given the abundance of stakes involved. Either that or these had actually marked out someone or groups of persons to be hurt by the trap. While we may never know for sure, it's definitely quite the mystery, wouldn't you say? In this clip, we have a group of friends out in the woods having fun and recording the whole thing. They seem to have set up a makeshift basketball court in the woods surrounded by their parked cars. If you pay attention to the audio, you'll realize that beyond their laughter, there's a shrill sound in the background. It's almost as if there's some weird or wild creature out there. The person behind the camera points this out and begins walking toward the woods. At that moment, he spots a creature resembling an ape casually walking on its 2 feet, moving through the woods. As expected, it startled both him and his friends. I mean, it's not every day you see a giant of a beast casually walking through the woods. The person filming attempts to get closer for a clearer look, but his friends discourage him from doing so.
I see it back there.
I did too. Just walking. Oh. Yeah.
What could they have run into? You don't need to be an expert in the paranormal to know that the creature is most definitely Bigfoot. But one question looms: is that the real deal, or are we looking at someone in a costume? Well, I think I'll let you decide on this one. Now, stepping away from our bonus footage, which is quite the mystery, at least for you, we have another one for you that's truly mysterious. Take a look. Do my eyes deceive me, or does that look like a dinosaur? It's hard to tell if it's a pteranodon versus a pterodactyl. One of these creatures has teeth and the other doesn't. If you know which is which, you can state it in the comments section. We'll be marking the ones that are right in the comments section. But back to the footage. Is that really an extinct dinosaur flying in the sky? Well, part of me doesn't think so. However, some paranormal enthusiasts believe the government may be experimenting with these extinct creatures. What do you think? Trail cameras, the ever-watchful eyes of the wilderness, capturing moments both sublime and bizarre. But this next footage takes the cake in terms of unexpected revelations. Imagine being the owner of a Trailcam, eagerly retrieving it one day, only to discover something you never anticipated. In the cold, unforgiving darkness of the night, the camera reveals a scene that seems almost too surreal to be true. An inmate, in a desperate bid for freedom, is caught in the act of trying to escape from incarceration. A subscriber of the channel sent it in, and he stated that they didn't understand what they were looking at until the individual was arrested later. If this is proof of anything, it's that the unexpected can happen even in the most unlikely places. Trailcams, once reserved for documenting the secrets of the natural world, have now started recording inmates escaping from jail. Who knows what else we may start capturing on these cams? A big shout out to the subscriber who sent this in. We can't wait to have the rest of you starting to send in footage. I can't imagine what y'all are also capturing on your trail and security cams. Looking at this capture, do you see anything peculiar? You don't? We'll take a closer look. You should see it. If you focus on the animal feeding to your right, you might miss those eyes in the middle. If you're familiar with trail cam footage, then you know that captures from the night usually have the eyes of the animals reflecting. Looking at those two white dots in the middle, I'm pretty sure they are eyes, but what animal do you know that has eyes that far apart? None that I'm aware of. Could it be a cryptid? Could it be an unknown and undiscovered species, or do I have it completely wrong and it's a ghost? Am I simply seeing things that are non-existent? These and many more questions plague my mind. What about you? Do you have an answer to this enigma? Please do share in the comments section. Here is another incident of a group of curious people who went exploring at night. These young guys this time chose a different scenery, a swamp. As they were passing by the muddy water, they noticed some movement and took out their phones to record. Lo and behold, a creature suddenly emerged from the mud. The creature looked so eerily familiar to a human. It was bipedal with arms and a head to match. As the creature, however, turns its head, you can see the dark hollowness of the eyes. Naturally, the curious group filming saw this, freaked out, and started to scream. You know those situations where the one you're afraid of is also afraid of you? Seems like this was the situation here. But let's take a step back from the craziness and analyze the video. Is that creature truly a creature? Are we sure it's not just a man posing to be one? Let's assume for a second it's not a man posing. What cryptid do you think that was? Several individuals who saw the footage believe it's either a rake or a skinwalker. What say you? For our next clip, let's travel to Texas. While going about her daily activities, a lady in Texas looks out into her yard, perhaps to enjoy the view, and is amazed to spot a creature she's never seen before. Confused by what she's seeing, she uploaded it online. Take a look. The creature appears to be stopping by to sample berries that have fallen to the ground. I mean, berries are sweet, and if I saw a tree full of them, well, I'd stop by too. If you have ever owned a garden next to wildlife, you know such visitations occur more often than we'd want to state. But things get interesting once the woman spots the animal. She realizes it doesn't look like anything she's ever seen. Possibly not wanting to appear eccentric, and despite being profoundly shocked, she managed to snap a photo of the creature. The photo, which has now gone viral, leaves everyone asking the question, what could this creature be? It resembles a member of the cat family, sporting unusually elongated ears while sharing a similar body length to that of a mountain lion. Experts, however, think it might be a dog with fur or skin issues. Numerous speculations have emerged regarding its identity. Some suggest it could be a chupacabra, while others propose a hybrid between a coyote and a dog. The idea that such creatures could produce this anomaly might seem far-fetched due to their sizes, yet considering the unusual occurrences in our world today, well, who am I to dismiss the possibility? What do you say, though? Here's a heartwarming scene that proves even the mightiest of creatures can have a soft side. Movies make rhinos out to be imposing and often have an aggressive demeanor. While that may be true, sometimes it only happens when they are provoked. In most cases, they're quietly minding their own business, and a particular rhino seems to be the mellowest of them all. As it goes about its evening duties, munching a thing or two here and there, a tiny companion takes advantage of the opportunity and perches itself comfortably on the rhino's back. Now, there could be a couple of explanations for this unlikely friendship. You might be thinking that the rhino is simply too focused on its meal to notice the daring hitchhiker, or perhaps it's having an exceptionally good day and decided to share some warmth and company. But this happens more often than not. Have you heard of symbiotic or commensal relationships? Sometimes smaller animals like domestic cats may climb on or sit near rhinos or other large animals in captivity or wildlife reserves. This behavior is not driven by the rhino's consent, but rather the result of the cat's natural curiosity or seeking warmth or shelter. It's essential to remember that these interactions can be risky for the smaller animals if the larger animal becomes agitated or defensive, and that's why you must always avoid encroaching on the personal space of these wild beasts. Our next footage takes us to a garage. Who knew that the garage could become the place of nightmares? Wondering what I'm talking about? Well, watch this footage. Armed with a flashlight and a camera, an unknown individual ventures into a cluttered garage. Inside the garage, there is an established wooden structure for storing materials and equipment. It's unknown if he knew something weird was there, but judging by his movement, he might have. As he points his light at one of the wooden cabinets, a creature's head pops up. I was tempted to think it might be a monkey of sorts, but taking a second look, I doubt that's what we have here. And if it was a monkey, I doubt the one filming would have moved away as fast as he did. So what exactly could this be? Oh, you tell me. I know I said we're starting with a big one, and we indeed started with a big one, but what else can you call this beauty of a specimen? As much as I'd like to tell you its species or name, I can't, and you know why? We're at that bonus segment of today's episode. Your task is simple. Name the exact species that beautiful animal is and add a rare fact. If you're able to, your name shall be immortalized among the few names of individuals on this channel who have succeeded in doing so. Start with bonus footage so we easily identify it. The most accurate description with the rarest fact will win a feature in our next video. All the best. Next, we have something alien. Take a look. There have been sightings of strange lights decorating the sky in California, and this footage captures just a few. The pattern and size of the lights have led to the viewers link them to UFOs. What solidifies this theory is the recent confirmation from the US government about the presence of extraterrestrials on Earth. People strongly believe that these lights are the crafts of these beings. If you have ever doubted these sightings, this is the best time to reconsider, with everything happening in the USA concerning aliens. Is Earth truly being invaded by aliens? Should we be alarmed? And the more important question is, do you believe these things exist, especially the ones involving the US government? Let us know in the comments section. In this footage, we can see a pile of leaves around a hollow spot in the middle of the woods. Tell me, what do you see lurking in the shadows among the leaves? I've got my money on a face, but hey, you know what your creative minds will come up with. All right, folks, time to take a breather from all this brain teaser. Ever heard of the word pareidolia? It's a quirky phenomenon where our brains spot familiar patterns in completely unrelated things, like seeing a smiley face in a slice of toast or a dragon in the clouds. I believe you experienced such when you checked out the footage. The uploader of the footage suspects that there's a Bigfoot in there, but I have a question. Based on your own experience trying to identify whatever is in the footage and your newly found knowledge of the phenomenon, what do you think is really happening in there? Share your thoughts with me in the comment section.
Znači nema ništa, kiša počela da pada, kao što vidite.
As the camera rolls, we hear the voice of a foreign man who appears to be on a quest to capture evidence of some mysterious sightings he's encountered.
Ne znam ni ja sam šta je.
In his haste to capture a potential eureka moment, he sprints across a well-manicured grass field, camera in hand, capturing every step. Further ahead, a mysterious structure emerges in the middle of the unknown vicinity. However, as he turns, we catch a glimpse of glowing lights and a lurking presence behind the structure. It has a ghostly form, and it's unlike any otherworldly cryptid or paranormal entity we have encountered. Do you see it too? Do you know what creature this is? If you do, please share it with us in the comments section. Next, we have a Trailcam image that captures a seemingly ordinary deer. If you look closely, you'll notice that the antlers of this deer have grown in an abnormal position compared to the typical configuration seen in a regular deer. One antler appears to be in its normal position, while the other seems to be playing a kind of hide-and-seek game, growing downward and ending up right above the deer's eye. Is this a shapeshifter? Could this be an alien creature, or is there some experiment being carried out by the government? While it might initially intrigue paranormal enthusiasts, this is simply a deer with a physical defect. While this is indeed an unusual sight, it's not unheard of in the animal kingdom. Animals, like humans, can exhibit physical defects due to various factors such as genetics, prenatal trauma, or environmental influences. In some cases, these anomalies can result in unique and curious physical features. In this footage, we see probably one of the biggest creatures we've ever featured on this channel. Sure, the giant moose from a couple of episodes ago was large, but I doubt it's got anything on the creature moving among the foliage in this footage. Did you see it? What creature comes to mind? An ape, a bear, a Neanderthal, or a Bigfoot? Most definitely a Bigfoot. There are no other creatures that fit the bill so well. But where was this creature captured? The funny thing is that the uploader refused to share and didn't say why. Perhaps he wanted to protect the creature, or perhaps he wanted it all to himself. I possibly can't be the only one excited about such a find. As exciting as this is, though, it worries me a little bit. If Bigfoots can get this large, what would happen to us if they try to take us over? Well, oh, stop it, Steve. They won't do that, or at least we hope they won't. Think happy thoughts. Either way, you have to agree with me that this footage is truly an impressive capture once you get over the poor quality. Next, we have a capture that doesn't give away much of its surroundings except a tall figure right before the camera, revealing what might seem to be a cryptid or an alien. With a physique resembling that of a human, this creature sure does give me the creeps. Turquoise blue in color with glowing eyes and a chest area resembling cocoa in shape, it possesses long arms, fingers, and legs. Its nose and mouth resembled that of an anteater with distinct lines showcasing its unique features, setting it apart from otherworldly creatures we've encountered. Notably, detailed bone structures protrude from various parts of its body, suggesting it may not have had a substantial meal for quite some time. What do you think this is? Are we staring at a possible Halloween custom-made costume, or should we be wary going out in the dead of night? If it's no Halloween costume, could this really be an alien? I can't say with certainty, but, well, I wouldn't be surprised if it is. In this video clip, we see a typical family moment at home with beautifully designed carpets of various colors. In the corner, just behind them, we spot a small and unusual creature. It's cute and black with hair resembling that of an ape or bear. The creature playfully moves before it's revealed to have a string or a thread attached to it. It's held by the speaker, and shortly after the playful movements, the man opens the door and steps outside to remove his shoes, with the creature closely following. All who've seen the creature believe it's a baby Bigfoot. Frankly, I can see it being one, but what about you? Do you see it? When you clicked this video, did you ever think you'd see a baby Bigfoot? Well, there you have it. But what at all will drive someone to tie this little one with a thread? And why would you keep a baby Bigfoot? What would you do when it hits adolescence and starts to grow rapidly? What if its family comes searching? This next footage is out of this world spooky. Instead of talking, perhaps you should see it instead. This young boy was filming himself while his dog climbed on the couch behind him, messing with the blinds. Well, at first, after the video was filmed, the boy didn't think anything of it, until one day he was reviewing the footage when he noticed something strange. Behind the blinds outside the window was a strange face peeking at him. The face looked odd with large black eyes. What in the world could that be? Some kind of alien? Because it sure looks like one. Some skeptics say it was a staged video, which could be true, seeing as the strange face looks lifeless like a toy or a costume. But given the recent Russian alien news and sightings, this could very much be a sighting. For our next footage, a camera mounted on what appears to be a boat captures a curious encounter with an unidentifiable creature. Let's take a look. Now, it's unclear whether or not it possesses any form of communication. This creature exhibits dog-like characteristics, sporting white and cream or tan-colored skin. Additionally, its face appears like it has a pair of goggles covering its eyes. Very perplexing if you ask me. But are there truly creatures like this? Is this really real? Well, there's a cerdid and a mythological creature that's known to fit the bill. The Ningen is typically described as having pale, translucent, or bluish-white skin, somewhat resembling a giant underwater ghost or spirit. It's often said to have a human-like face, eyes, and mouth, though the features can vary. Now, there are varied images of what the Ningen looks like, but members of the paranormal community who saw this believe that that's the real deal. A part of me feels like it's an elaborate hoax, but what do I know? Perhaps you can help clear the confusion. What do you think? Well, it seems even Mother Nature can have a sense of humor. In this rather amusing Trailcam capture, we have a deer that appears to be sporting the latest winter fashion trend, the iced face mask. Looks like this deer was having a drink of water when it splashed all over its face. Given the frigid weather conditions, it doesn't take long for that water to turn into a frosty facial accessory. The result? A deer that looks like it's fresh from a spa day with an ice face mask that would make even the most glamorous Hollywood celebrity envious. Nature's little moments like these serve as a reminder that even in the wild there's room for a touch of whimsy. This was at least my logical explanation of the whole thing. My colleagues in the paranormal community, however, disagree and state that the creature is definitely possessed. Knowing myself, I know for a fact that I don't have a lot of experience with wildlife, so thought it might be best to ask you what you thought of the whole thing. Do you think my logical explanation is logical enough, or are we truly dealing with a paranormal situation here? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Our next footage features a desolate slump with its waterlogged terrain and oddly shaped leafless trees. I don't know if you feel it too, but there's an eerie feeling emanating from the place that suggests it's not one that's often visited. I'm not sure if the one filming is on a quest to capture otherworldly creatures, but he doesn't hesitate to film when he spots a figure in the woods ahead. The creature doesn't even notice him until a few seconds after he had started causing it to react abruptly, and it tries to hide. This mysterious figure bears a striking resemblance to a black and furry Sasquatch. It seems to be in a secluded corner of the woods, going about its day, possibly relishing the screams of an unseen creature in the video. Some members of the paranormal community are convinced it's a Sasquatch. Others think it might be a skunk ape. What do you think? Leroy, a subscriber, shared this footage of an unusual sighting in a small village outside of Berlin. According to Leroy, his wife was walking their dog when she spotted the strange object and decided to film it with her cell phone. The object appeared to be flying in a straight line and had an unusual shape that was inconsistent with that of a drone or a balloon. Leroy's wife even looked for drone pilots in the area, but none were found. Interestingly, this sighting was not the first strange occurrence that Leroy and his wife had witnessed in the area. They had also seen a strange lighting glow in Berlin the day before, but it is unclear whether it was related to the UFO sighting. The fact that they've witnessed many strange occurrences in the area suggests it may be a hotspot for paranormal encounters. What would you do in their shoes?
The battery, along with the Bluetooth device.
I'm just gonna plug them in right now.
We're talking about actual voltages.
Yeah, I think we should go left.
Left.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay,
Doing donuts.
What do you call a cockroach with cybernetic enhancements? A robo-roach. Some men connected a battery and a Bluetooth device to a cockroach and set it on a table. While the creature was capable of moving on its own, the individuals in question were able to control its movements. It's certainly an innovative idea, but it also raises some serious concerns about the implications of such technology for humans. The concept of mind control and sleeper agents doesn't seem so far-fetched anymore, and it's hard not to worry about the potential consequences of this kind of technology. Julius doubts that such a technology exists, but if anything, this clip serves as a reminder that we need to be thoughtful and cautious as we continue to push the boundaries of what's possible with AI and other advanced technologies. Oh dear, it seems we've stumbled upon a rather peculiar situation in the world of trail cams. We have two crocs, or perhaps alligators, swimming near a trail cam. Now, you must be wondering why I'm laughing, but, well, it's actually simple. I'm kind of expected to be corrected and given a lesson on the differences between a croc and an alligator. This community never lets my mistakes slide, and I love you guys for it. It's motivated me to do a little more research before putting these videos out there. Either way, back to the video. It appears that our reptilian friends have decided to make the camera their guardian and protector of their territory. Now, I must say, I'm not quite sure how the brave soul who set up this camera is planning to retrieve it. It might involve a bit of negotiation with our cold-blooded comrades, or perhaps a carefully devised strategy to outsmart them. In any case, it's a reminder that nature often has its plans, a true testament to the unpredictability and wonder of the great outdoors. Despite the dangers of recovery, you must agree that this is one fine bit of footage. God bless whoever captured it. Stepping away from all things mysterious and scary, let's take a look at this beautiful capture a subscriber sent in. Can you recognize the creature? If you said cougar, you'd be right. The cougar, considered a charismatic feline prowler of the wild, combines stealth with grace in its solitary adventures. With a coat as sleek as midnight and eyes that gleam with secrets, it's the phantom of the forest, embodying both mystery and playful curiosity in its every saunter. Images of cougars from trail cams are always fire, and this one is a gem. As majestic and beautiful as these animals are, if you ever run into one, make sure to keep a distance. They may look cute, but they are still apex predators. If you've made it this far and haven't hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment, could you do that before you go on? Thank you very much. It means a lot. Coming back to the episode. According to the one who sent this in, this video footage was recorded over a decade ago by a diver who was exploring the depths of the ocean. As the camera captured the underwater world, an unusual creature caught the diver's attention. The creature appeared to be a fish, but its body resembled that of an insect with long, thin legs protruding from its sides. The creature's tail was that of a fish, but its movements were more akin to those of an insect. The video has since gone viral, with many viewers expressing their disbelief and amazement at the creature's unique appearance. However, some skeptics have suggested that the footage could have been created using CGI. What do you think? Have you ever killed a mosquito and seen purple blood instead of red?
Acabo de matar un mosquito y literal es púrpura. Ahí están viendo, es púrpura. Acá está una cama. No puede ser.
Well, this woman was bitten by a mosquito, and when she killed it, she saw that the mosquito had purple blood instead of red. Bizarre, right? While it might sound strange, this kind of thing isn't uncommon in biology. Some types of mosquitoes, especially those in special environments or with different eating habits, might have blood that's a different color because of what they eat or how their bodies work. We can't say that's what's happening here, but this is Mother Nature we're talking about. Either that or there's a new kind of mosquito out there that our scientists haven't seen before. What do you think?
Acá está una cama. No puede ser.
Kelly Villars, a TikTok user with a taste for adventure, decided to dive into the intriguing world of the Randonautica app. This app, well known for sending users to random, often mysterious locations, promises to deliver unforgettable experiences. And for many, it lives up to that promise, leading them to strange and sometimes eerie places. In Kelly's case, a journey with Randonautica took an unexpected turn. She found herself at a location sitting in a car when something odd caught her attention. Two figures, seemingly men, were approaching her from behind. One wore a striking red shirt and the other donned white. But here's where it gets eerie. When she checked a car's rearview mirror, these individuals were nowhere to be seen. There was no sign of trickery or video editing. It was as real as it gets. So what's the deal here? Is it a paranormal encounter, a glitch in the Matrix, or something else entirely? Next up is our bonus segment. What do you think of this? Thousands have seen this footage, but not many have done a good job identifying what it is or where it came from. Can you do any better? If you can, your task is simple. Name what it is, give us your reasons for your answer, and we'll review it. If you are indeed right, your name shall be immortalized among the few names of individuals on this channel who have succeeded in identifying our bonus content. When writing out your answer, start with bonus footage so we easily identify it among the comments. The answer with the most accurate description with the most convincing reason will win a feature in our next video. All the best.
What the hell?
pair of hikers were exploring the woods when they suddenly heard some strange and unusual noises. As they started to investigate, they noticed something moving from a distance among the trees. Intrigued, they decided to wait and see if they could get a better look. Gradually, their camera captured the image of a pale creature slowly making its way toward them. The creature appeared to be a rake-like figure, tall, thin, and with long bony fingers. The hikers were understandably spooked by this unexpected sighting and immediately decided to hightail it out of there. Looking at this creature, it's safe to say that the hikers made the right call by putting some distance between themselves and the creature. But what do you think this is? A rake or something else? Now, I've seen weird things in my day, but nothing could have prepared me for this. The middle finger on the hand appears to be significantly larger and thicker than the other fingers. The difference in size and thickness is very obvious and noticeable. The situation raises questions as to what could be the cause of this anomaly. One possibility is a medical condition such as a bone growth disorder or an abnormality in the circulatory system. Another possibility is that it could be a birth defect. However, there is also a chance that this could be the result of an otherworldly influence, perhaps an alien. Unless, of course, the whole thing is fake. One thing we can all, however, agree on is that a slap from this hand would set you straight. Before the next clip, Aaron asked me to ask you if you've already hit the like, subscribe, notification bell icons, because he doesn't want to send a skinwalker your way, if you know what I mean. In the realm of unexplained phenomena, this security camera footage from a town in India has certainly left us all with a perplexing puzzle. This security camera footage, retrieved from a small town in India, captures what looks like a strange-looking woman with her body upside down. What's more, she appears to be moving weirdly in such a posture. The area is well known for its paranormal activity and only deepens the mystery. Was this an elaborate hoax, a piece of performance art, or something supernatural? The chilling nature of the footage leaves us with more questions than answers. What do you think of it? Isn't it crazy how sometimes reality can blur with fiction? I mean, I've seen some bizarre stuff, but, well, this one takes the cake. So picture this. A serene sunset, a majestic coconut tree swaying in the breeze. Looks pretty normal, right? But here comes the twist. As soon as you zoom in on the footage, there's a branch just chilling in the sky away from the tree. I mean, what's going on here? I'm left scratching my head, and it's not just me. This is the kind of stuff that blurs the line between what's possible and what's, well, just plain bizarre. I mean, unless someone can convince me that there's an invisible floating tree holding that branch up, I'm going to remain utterly perplexed. It's like a scene straight out of a sci-fi movie, but this is right there in our Instagram feed, messing up with our sense of reality. This next one is intriguing, if I do say so myself. At first, the camera captures a strange object in the sky, and moments later, a helicopter can be seen approaching it. The helicopter then begins to circle the object deliberately and methodically. The object in question is undoubtedly an unidentified flying object, as there seems to be no other plausible explanation. It's possible that the authorities were alerted to the object's presence and sent the helicopter to investigate. The fact that the helicopter is circling the object suggests that the authorities are trying to get a closer look at it. It's difficult to say what the object is or what its purpose might be. It may be a drone or some other kind of experimental aircraft. Alternatively, it could be something more mysterious like an extraterrestrial spacecraft. Whatever it is, it's clear that the authorities are taking it seriously and are doing their best to get to the bottom of the situation. What are your thoughts? So someone sent us this clip telling us it was a fuel tank belonging to the Space Shuttle Endeavour. For those unfamiliar with it, the Space Shuttle Endeavour was one of the orbiters in NASA's Space Shuttle program. It was named after the British HMS Endeavour, the ship commanded by James Cook on his first voyage of discovery, 1768 to 1771. Endeavour was constructed to replace the Space Shuttle Challenger, which was lost in an accident in 1986. Its construction was completed in 1991, and it made its first flight, STS-49, in May 1992. Now, I'm no NASA expert, but I can tell when something is wrong with the clip. Is it just me, or does this clip seem a tad unnatural? Next, we have a Trailcam footage that's aiming for the spot of the most chaotic footage I have ever come across. Take a look. In the footage, we have a herd of innocent-looking deer frozen in their tracks, their wide eyes locked onto a sly and cunning fox up ahead. But wait, the fox seems to be engaged in its stare-off with something else, something colossal and humanoid sauntering across the path and into the woods. Did you catch it? This enigmatic creature, towering like a behemoth, defies easy classification. It's certainly not your run-of-the-mill forest inhabitant. Bears? Well, they're not typically known for their bipedal strolls, so what's left in the realms of legendary woodland mysteries? None other than the elusive and legendary Bigfoot. Or do you not see it? On November the 22nd at precisely 11:36 a.m., we captured a rare sight that might make you wonder if it's someone practicing voodoo. That's definitely not normal, right? If you know anything about horror movies, you know this particular scene is nothing more than a horrid sight. I mean, how else do you describe a scene of hundreds, if not thousands, of blackbirds on your farm? Could something ominous have happened while the owner of the land was away? Has the owner performed some evil rites that necessitate the visits of these birds, or am I just reading meanings into things that don't exist? Personally, I don't think so. I think there's more to this than meets the eye. Don't you? Next, we have a clip that seems to have captured a glitch in the Matrix. Take a close look at this tap. It looks like the water is frozen in time, but you can still hear the tap flowing. Curious, the one filming puts his finger where the water is supposed to be flowing, and sure enough, it is. So what could be happening here? It's a peculiar phenomenon that raises some interesting questions. Could this be a glitch in the Matrix, or is there something more complex at play? Perhaps the water's flow rate is so slow that it appears to have stopped altogether, but the sound of flowing water is still audible. Could it be an illusion? Perhaps the human eye perceives the motion differently. Either that or the footage is manipulated. The problem with this hypothesis is that we can't test it. Have you seen it? And what do you think? Passenger who was traveling on a plane managed to capture intriguing footage of strange orbs moving in the skies. The video has caused quite a stir online, with some people believing that it shows a genuine UFO sighting. However, I made an interesting observation. The strange orbs are just a reflection from the plane on the window that the camera picked up. The video is shot from the window of the plane and seems to show several white orbs moving about in the sky. The orbs seem to move in time with the camera's movements, which indicates that they're not actually in the sky, but rather a reflection from the plane's window. What do you think? Do you believe that that's a genuine UFO sighting or just a reflection from the plane's window? Imagine you set up a trail cam in the woods to capture, say, deer, cougars, or whatever it is you're into. You review the captures from the trail cam only to see it only had pictures of a creature that looked like this. Tell me you see it. A weird-looking humanoid in what appears to be a suit. If this were near the city or a town, you could say perhaps someone wandered into the woods. But what if we told you this was captured deep in the woods where no humans lived? Do I have your attention now? This is one bit of footage that sends shivers down the spine. While we often tell ourselves curiosity kills the cat and live in the moment, understanding this footage is something we must do. The figure in the footage dons a long-sleeved shirt with buttons, although the original color remains unknown. I mean, we could speculate, but it won't be accurate. The shirt is opened all the way down. What's truly unsettling is the appearance of its hand. Though it appears blurry, it seems to be holding onto the rock. Either that or the hand is deformed, and what's more, it's got blood stains over its fingers. To the explorers on this channel, does this make you think twice about venturing into the unknown? But you have to wonder, what exactly are we dealing with? With many possibilities popping up in my head, I can only pass the baton down to you. What do you think this is? If you thought that was odd, then the next footage will certainly rustle some feathers. Ever since the It and Joker characters made it through mainstream media, people have become very wary of clowns, and this footage is one of many that will send a shiver down your spine. According to the uploader, a security camera set on private property captured the bizarre situation. In the middle of the night, a strange person in a clown mask and a hoodie is seen walking straight to the camera holding a syringe. The motives of this person remain a mystery, and his identity as well, making this whole situation very disturbing. I would like to console myself by thinking that this is just some kind of Halloween prank, but it's not. Take a look at the syringe in his hands also. If there's anything to take away from this video, it's that this homeowner should be very careful. Observe this peaceful scene of a man floating on the serene currents of the river, lost in his thoughts and enjoying the soothing warmth of the sun. However, unknown to him, a silent and deadly predator lies beneath the surface, the giant anaconda. As the man floats along, the massive snake silently approaches, but for some odd reason swims by without any concern or interest in the man. How come? Julius states that if the clip were real, the snake might have recently eaten. We know anacondas are big, huge, but the size in this clip is definitely exaggerated, which has us all thinking, it's definitely fake. What say you? In this intriguing footage, a mysterious creature is captured in someone's backyard. The creature appears to be tall and dark, with its white teeth visible in the darkness, creating a chilling sight. The creature's dark fur makes it difficult to discern its features, but one can slightly make out its long legs and hands, which adds to the eeriness of the scene. The creature stands there for a few moments as if assessing its surroundings before suddenly vanishing into thin air, leaving the observer puzzled and bewildered. The video raises many questions about the identity of the creature and its origins. Could this be a real undiscovered species lurking in our midst? Share your thoughts. Next, we have another chilling capture that unveils an otherworldly creature that defies comprehension. Think I'm exaggerating? Well, take a look. This still image was captured on a trail camera situated deep within a mysterious forest, one akin to the Dark Forest Harry Potter series. It reveals a massive, deformed creature with 4 legs and a tail. Taking a second look, you realize that the creature appears to have 2 heads. One faces the camera with its mouth agape, while the other gazes in a different direction. As if all these were not weird enough, the creature is also very muscular, with its physique resembling that of a bodybuilder. Either way, we have many questions about this creature and its origin. Is it the result of an experiment gone wrong? Is it an otherworldly creature materializing in our plane? Is it an AI generation meant to throw us off? We simply can't put our finger on it. What do you think it is? Now, this is something that'll make you do a double take on your next hike. Picture this. You're out in the rugged mountains surrounded by nature's beauty, and then, bam, you stumble upon a stone face carved in the side of a cliff. Not exactly the hiking buddy you were expecting, right? But wait, it gets even stranger. As you zoom in on this rocky visage, you notice something peculiar. At first glance, it appears rather stoic, almost like it's silently watching over the wilderness. But as you zoom in further, it almost seems like the face is cracking a mysterious smile. Now, that's not something you come across every day in the great outdoors. Who do you think carved this enigmatic mountain face, and what could its changing expression signify? Perhaps it's a hidden message from Mother Nature herself. Nature has its way of surprising us, doesn't it? In the stillness of the night sky, an unusual and mysterious phenomenon captured the attention of an observer. A glowing object, unlike anything they have ever witnessed before, was visible in the distance. As you look closer, the object's fiery appearance becomes more distinct, but it is clear that it's not an ordinary flame. As the observer was trying to make sense of what they were seeing, a larger object suddenly appeared beside the first one. It was a star-shaped object with many tentacles around it, and it seemed to vanish into the sky as quickly as it appeared. The observer was left stunned and bewildered, wondering what these objects could be and why they were present in the sky. What could they be? Are they natural phenomena or something else entirely? Take a look at this peculiar creature. It's a massive beast that looks like a pig that has been given a dose of steroids. The creature even appears to have 3 horns on its upper back, which makes it even more intimidating. It almost looks like a hybrid of a pig and a Rottweiler. Seeing something like this naturally has us thinking a lot. What is this creature? How did it end up like this? If it's truly real, or does it even eat? Aaron calls it a dog pig or pig dog. While that looks like a befitting name, Julius chastised us a lot for believing this is real. He believes it's altered footage, since there's no way parents would allow their kids near something this scary. Yet we have 2 toddlers petting it. Either way, we couldn't seem to come up with an agreement on what this might be or if it's even real. Can you help? Well, folks, if you thought Danny's video was a little spooky, wait till you see this one. This cat owner was just minding his own business and taking a cute snapshot of his furry friend. Sounds like a harmless and fun activity, right? But when he lay to check the photo, things took a creepy turn. Right there in the background, amidst the dark woods, you can spot a pair of glowing eyes. Now, we all know nocturnal animals have eyes that reflect light, especially at night. But these eyes have that extra dash of eeriness, don't they? It's like they're sending chills down your spine, or am I the only one feeling those chills? Either way, you have to wonder, what could those eyes belong to? Some might say it's just a regular nocturnal critter, but there's always that lingering possibility, isn't there? That possibility that it might be something straight out of a campfire ghost story, like the infamous Dog Man. Perhaps my imagination is running wild again, but what do you folks think? Regular animal or something more mysterious? Let's hear from you. The world of cryptids and elusive creatures is endlessly fascinating, and this footage captures a legendary one. While exploring the woods, an individual felt he wasn't alone, becoming alert and spotting this elusive creature among the trees. Hoping he could catch whatever it was on camera, he took out his phone to record, and the footage playing out on your screen is what he recorded. As the camera pans through the woods, we see it, a large, ape-like figure moving amongst the trees. Despite being quite shaky, many consider this footage a classic Bigfoot sighting. You know, that legendary cryptid that's been the talk of campfires for ages. These Bigfoot, or Sasquatch, sightings are scattered all over the place. These legendary creatures are known to inhabit remote, rugged terrain, making sightings extremely rare. That makes any footage involving them, like this particular one, gold for those who study and believe in the existence of these elusive beings. Even with all the sightings, we're still scratching our heads about what Bigfoot is. It's like they leave just enough breadcrumbs to keep us curious, but not enough to give away the whole story. So for now, we'll keep our eyes on the woods and our cameras rolling, hoping for that one shot that finally unravels the mystery. A group of scientists allegedly came across this tiny winged creature, which they first found fossilized in a rock. They've been carefully studying and cleaning it, as well as scanning its features. Its appearance has naturally caused some confusion among scientists, as it resembles a fairy. The creature has been thoroughly examined, but it doesn't match the description of the beautiful and elegant fairies we see in cartoons and folklore. So the question remains, is it an authentic fairy or is it a forgery? Sometimes I don't even know why I ask, but I am asking. What do you guys think? Real or not? Enjoying this episode? Kindly hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already so we can keep bringing you more clips. Done? Okay, well, let's continue with the day's episode then. Someone captured an enchanting footage of a mermaid resting on a rock in a serene beach, and we've got it. Enjoy. The mermaid was facing toward the sea, and its long, lustrous hair flowed down its back. Its shimmering tail was visible from the camera angle as it swung back and forth. Mermaids have always been a part of human folklore for centuries, often depicted as half-human and half-fish beings. The concept of these mythical creatures has fascinated people for generations, but whether they exist in reality or are mere figments of human imagination remains an enigma. If we are going to answer the question using this footage, then we'll put them in the realm of fiction, since this looks very unnatural and very unrealistic. But perhaps that's just me. What do you think? Imagine driving through the night when you come across a strange woman in white standing in the middle of the street. Now stop imagining and watch the footage. That happened to this family as they were driving in the night. The terrified people didn't even bother to check on the woman because they didn't know if it was a paranormal encounter or just a weird woman. If it was you in this situation, what would you have done? Tell us in the comments section. This next footage from the woods holds more intrigue than meets the eye. While the camera explores every nook and cranny, it captures a creature lurking behind a distant tree. Seemingly on the prowl for dinner, the camera unveils an ape-like creature, its beard a striking feature in the moonlight. Possibly standing at around 7 feet tall, sporting a robust torso, glowing eyes, and black fur, it quickly ducks and swiftly takes cover behind the nearest tree upon realizing it's been discovered. Perhaps it's thinking, why are these creatures after me? Or perhaps something more sinister like, let's lure him in. Either way, the one filming doesn't pursue. Instead, he's left wondering, what was that? Do you have an answer? Tell us in the comments section. This footage showcases the breathtaking celestial bodies that adorn the firmament, the sun and moon. Two of the most prominent features of the sky appear to be of similar size when viewed from the Earth. This is a fascinating phenomenon considering that the sun is actually 400 times larger than the moon. However, the moon is located much closer to the Earth than the sun, and this creates the illusion of them being the same size. The one who uploaded this clip, however, wants us to pay attention to more than just these celestial bodies. He says there's something alien on the left side of the clip. Looking at the clip, I get where he's coming from, but I just feel this clip was digitally manipulated. I don't know, but let's just call it a hunch. A passenger looked out the window of a plane and was surprised to see this. While looking at it, I couldn't tell what I was looking at, but according to the uploader, it's an unidentified aerial phenomenon, or UAP for short, that has been seen many times. He stated that the craft appears to be similar to the one that YouTuber Jake Paul captured on his cell phone. Has any of you seen whatever clip he's referring to, and did it look legit? If it did, then perhaps there's a possibility that there are actual extraterrestrials amongst us. This next capture may not be capturing an escaped inmate, but it does capture something surreal. Take a look. What do you think we're looking at here? Some kind of ape-like creature? I mean, I know we can only see a part of the creature because the image was captured around the time it was passing behind a tree. Despite this, however, we can still see one of its legs sticking out, and it appears to have an almost human-like stride. Now, when it comes to identifying this enigmatic creature, the possibilities are as diverse as the wildlife itself. At a point, some members of the team assumed it could be a mischievous monkey or even a curious bear. Looking at it, however, the creature appears to have a human-like gait. A subscriber sent this in seeking answers. While these attempt to answer it based on available evidence, I believe there's more. Could this perhaps be that iconic denizen of the wilderness, the elusive Bigfoot? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Next is a video clip of a couple who are on a mission to uncover the paranormal. In this particular footage, they're on a bridge in the late hours of the night. Armed with a recorder and a flashlight, this couple discover an oddity on the bridge, a white rope dangling into the depths. The person with the light and recorder moves closer, shining the light in the direction of the dangling rope. Out of curiosity, they begin to pull it up, and to their astonishment, a head is attached to the other end. As they reel in the rope, they discover a head with red liquid writing that reads, "Do you see me?" The eerie discovery should have terrified anyone out exploring in the dead of night. Surprisingly, the couple appears unfazed by this chilling experience. Now, are you thinking what I'm thinking? If you are, then you're probably wondering if they could be in mortal danger. I'm concerned, but my team believes it's a hoax. They think the couple prearranged this by attaching a male mannequin's head with a white rope for content. Which do you think it is? In this peculiar clip, a man is seen lying flat on the ground in his garden with his back to the earth. Then, in a matter of seconds, he starts to levitate. As he floats in the sky, he holds out a skipping rope and swings it back and forth beneath his legs, demonstrating that there is nothing there supporting him. He then proceeds to swing the rope over his head, further confirming that nothing is holding him up. Looking at this, I'm reminded of the old Chinese movies I used to enjoy when I was younger. Yes, I am old, I know, but that's not the point. I know we want to believe in the supernatural, but if you're gonna fake it and deceive us, at least make sure your fake is impressive. A mysterious and unsettling creature has been caught on a trail camera. Its appearance is truly disturbing, with strange features that are difficult to describe. The creature appears to have transformed, starting as a human and gradually morphing into its current form. Reports on this creature are scarce, but those who have seen it claim it's a truly terrifying sight. The origin and nature of this creature are unknown. Could we be looking at a shape-shifting alien? What do you guys think? Yes, those objects are moving up the hill instead of down. Would you believe me if I told you these occurrences are actually real? They happen in places known as gravity hills, the real-life puzzles that baffle the mind and defy the laws of physics. You see, these are extraordinary places scattered all around the globe where the ordinary rules of gravity seem to take a coffee break. Picture this. You're standing at the base of a hill. a road stretching out before you. Now, instead of things rolling down like they're supposed to, the impossible happens. Water flows uphill, cars seemingly defy gravity, and even a ball might roll the wrong way. Sounds like something straight out of a science fiction novel, right? But no, these spots exist and they continue to stump scientists and thrill seekers alike. Despite all our modern knowledge, the mystery of Gravity Hills remains unsolved. I wish I could say this next clip isn't any weirder, but that would be a lie. This footage was captured by an adventurous individual in an unfamiliar locale. As he was exploring, he stumbled upon a spot behind a weathered white wall adorned with faded black writings. The location had grass sporadically covering the ground and vibrant trees with green leaves surrounding the area. While filming, the explorer noticed a strange humanoid figure in a squatting posture, seemingly lost in whatever it was doing. However, the recorder's actions break the cover and draw the creature's attention. With its white, pale-like ghostly-looking self, it charges towards the one filming. This causes the video to end abruptly, leaving much to the imagination afterwards. What do you think this creature was? My money is on the fact that it's a rake, but what about you? Stepping away from the creature, however, tell us what you would have done if you found yourself in this predicament. Let us know in the comments section. Still on strange sky phenomenon, some photographers have made a discovery and I'm gonna show it to you.
What's happening is this scope is so powerful and it's got such a fast focal ratio that when I do these long exposures on these really bright stars, it reveals some sort of a grid pattern.
So we all know that our sky is, well, sky, right? These photographers started playing around with the settings of their cameras because, well, that's what photographers do. The result is one that shocked even them. After playing around with the exposure settings of his camera, the photographer noticed that there was a grid-like pattern around the celestial bodies he was shooting. He shared this discovery and exact settings with the online community, and they began to try it too.
I had to hop on this trend when I saw people adjusting the settings in their cameras, and they started seeing all these crazy things in the sky. I had to cut out the first half of this video because it was way too long, but you guys, this is crazy. What is actually going on?
All those who tried it starting to have results similar to what he had. Take this second clip, for instance. The grid looks like something you would expect from a digital creation or world. To the photographers, this was strange and cool. To paranormal enthusiasts, however, it was a long-awaited sign and confirmation. All of such who saw the clip believe that this was confirmation that we are indeed living in a matrix. When I look at these clips, I get where they're coming from, but there are some who don't share the view. They believe that what you're seeing is nothing more than the pixels of the camera. They believe it becomes very evident because of the adjusted settings of the camera. When you think about it, that sounds logical. The paranormal community, however, rejects it. They think that those are voices trying to mislead us from the truth. What say you?
And then I'm looking at this tree and I'm like, okay, so the tree doesn't have it. It's like real things don't have it. But it's all over the sky. I don't know why I'm whispering. This is so crazy. And then at the end, there's like this giant T in the sky. What the fuck?
This next footage was taken at an unknown location with no information whatsoever about where or when it was captured.
Yo, look at that. Look at everybody in the highway right now. I don't know, bro.
In the footage, we see people gathered along the roadside, some parked and out of their cars, all pointing their cameras and phones at the sky. The object they're filming is a flat craft hovering in the air with a blue round light at its bottom. Everyone seemed both awestruck and curious about this UFO-like object in the sky. The craft itself is eerie and mesmerizing, its flat shape and the glowing blue light at its bottom giving it an otherworldly appearance, unlike any known aircraft or drone. What could this be? Is it an advanced human-made drone, a military experiment, or something extraterrestrial? The lack of information about the location or context makes it even more mysterious. Some in the paranormal community think it's a cleverly stitched and edited clip, whereas others think this has got to be the real deal. You've seen the clip yourself. What do you think?
Yo, look at that.
Now, this is one of those photos that will make you do a double take. Here's the story. This lady was out in the woods recording a video, minding her own business and unaware of what was lurking behind her. But let's dive into the creepy part. If you zoom in on the image, right there amidst a pile of dried leaves, you'll spot it. A creature with an extremely pale face and those dark, hollow eyes. Your first instinct might be Bigfoot, right? Well, not so fast. Bigfoots, if they exist, aren't usually this ghostly pale. So what are we dealing with here? The possibilities are enough to send shivers down your spine. It could be a skinwalker, a rake, or perhaps something even more sinister. What we do know is, if that creature was still hungry, this lady might have been on the menu. It's a chilling reminder that those woods can be a mysterious and unpredictable place. So next time you're out there, keep your wits about you. Kenya, a land of rich culture and natural beauty, recently found itself at the center of a mysterious aquatic enigma. A peculiar creature washed ashore featuring the upper torso of a human seamlessly melding with the lower torso of a fish. The internet buzzed with one word: mermaid. Now, before we dive deeper into the mysteries of this maritime anomaly, we must tread carefully. The world has seen its fair share of supposed mermaid sightings, some more convincing than others. These creatures of myth and legend often elude our understanding, making it tricky to separate fact from fiction. However, this particular case does raise some compelling questions. The footage captured shows the creature's fins moving in a manner that seems rather convincing. How could this be faked? Could this be a genuine mermaid, a being of folklore that we've only dared to imagine? You tell me. Have you heard the name Dolores Cannon? She was a hypnotist who had an interesting ideology. She was a renowned hypnotherapist, past life regressionist, and author who developed a unique method of hypnosis known as the quantum healing hypnosis technique, or QHHT for short. She spent over 50 years working in the field and wrote several books based on the information she gathered from her clients under hypnosis. One of her most notable theories involved the concept of souls coming together to form the population on Earth, arriving in what she called 3 waves of volunteers. According to Cannon, the first wave of volunteers are souls who initially found it difficult to adjust to life on Earth. They often felt uncomfortable and struggled with the violence and negativity in the world. The second wave are souls who were more comfortable here and often work as healers or spread positive energy through their very presence. The third wave are the newest souls, often children with advanced abilities and a higher level of consciousness, here to help the Earth transition into a new era. Another fascinating aspect of her work was her sessions with clients under deep hypnosis. Many of these clients would recall past lives, sometimes in great detail. Through these regressions, Cannon explored themes such as reincarnation, karma, and the soul's journey. She documented many of these sessions in her books, providing a unique perspective on human existence and the nature of reality. What do you think of this?
Of course, the young people are already there. Their DNA is already where it's supposed to be when they come in. They're so advanced. They're there already. That's the third wave. The gift of the world are these children.
The sun is not up there, so where's the light coming from? So the light came from the rocket? Oh, this, that, like, that's not. It's getting brighter too, like it's a portal into us or something. That's what it looks like.
A family was out at night enjoying a quiet evening when they took this astonishing footage of the sky. There was a mesmerizing blue light piercing through the clouds, casting an ethereal glow. It looked as though it was coming from a light source hidden behind the clouds. However, the sun had set a while ago, leaving everyone puzzled about the origin of this mysterious light. There are numerous natural phenomena that could potentially explain this, such as atmospheric refraction, electrical storms, or even rare auroras. Yet in this age of unexplained occurrences and advanced technology, it's hard to say for sure if this is purely a natural phenomenon. What if there is some sort of life form responsible for this? Could this blue light be an indication of extraterrestrial activity or advanced technology at work?
The sun is not up there, so where's the light coming from? So the light came from the rocket? Oh, this, that, like, that's not.
What this trail cam recorded is truly disturbing. One might assume that only those who risk their lives for exciting content encounter the strangest creatures, but sometimes even those going about their ordinary work activities encounter some of the strangest things, and this next clip is an example of that. In this video, two men are waist deep in a water-filled cave, working when they hear strange sounds. As the saying goes, curiosity killed the cat, but that doesn't deter them. They follow the sound to an area piled high with stones. One of them attempts to move the stones when something catches their attention. They discover a creature that resembles a deformed baby or some sort of small creature in the area blocked by the stones. The sight terrifies the man, and we see him pointing in bewilderment. It's said that they bolted out of the place after they didn't want to stay and find out if the creature was dangerous or murderous. Speaking of what they saw hidden in that small cave, what do you think that strange creature is? Sometimes it's the little things in life that make our day brighter, right? Take a look at this bear, which might not fit your description of your everyday hero, yet appears to know a thing or two about good manners. The bear was just minding its own bear business, strolling down a road when it suddenly spotted a traffic cone knocked down, and just waiting to be set right. Now, most of us would probably walk on by, but not our furry friend here. No, sir, this bear takes a moment out of its busy day to do a good deed, picking up that cone and putting it back where it belongs. It's like a lesson on politeness from the wild. While it's cute and beautiful to see, perhaps we ought to learn a thing or two from this bear. When something isn't right, and it's in your power to make it right, don't hesitate to do it. Have you ever heard about secret government missions that send soldiers to retrieve unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAPs, that crash on Earth? Sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But here's the kicker. The same government that allegedly conducts these missions also refuses to admit that UAPs exist. Even more intriguing, they're supposedly setting people up all over social media to discredit such claims. Yeah, that's wild. Listen to this and tell me what you think.
They don't want the public to know that there really is a crash retrieval program and that we are monitoring UAP in our airspace and water space. We can't control their actions and we don't fully understand their intentions. That's a dangerous thing to leak to the public, and so they are deliberately falsifying it and exploiting people, making them appear as wackos, thus creating a stigma behind the whole scene, which has prevented serious scientific study.
The disinformation is just to discredit whoever is...
Yeah, and it's happening overtly today. That office is doing it. There are individuals who I will not name, who I believe are getting paid. Every day they get out online, and their number one job is to discredit these national authorities. People like Lou Elizondo, who was with the task force, the UAP task force. He is 100% who he says he is, and what he says he's seen and knows, I have total confidence in. He is an active target.
One of the few people brave enough to speak up about these things is a man called Luis Elizondo. He's a former Pentagon official who led the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, or AATIP for short. Elizondo has been quite vocal about the existence of UAPs and has even hinted at these secret retrieval missions. He believes there's much more to the story than what the public is being told. It's a fascinating and somewhat unsettling topic. If these missions are real, what are they finding? Why the secrecy? And what does it mean for our understanding of the universe and our place in it? I'd love to hear what you think about this.
We can't control their actions, and we don't fully understand their intentions. That's a dangerous thing to leak to the public, and so they are deliberately falsifying it and exploiting people, making them appear as wackos, thus creating a stigma behind the whole scene, which has prevented serious scientific study.
A woodcraft survivalist in the UK once built a wooden shelter in the woods for camping, but came back the next day to find it dismantled. Initially, he thought it was the work of kids or vandals, so he set up a trail camera in the area to catch whoever was responsible.
There's a figure at night time that's in the right-hand side of, I believe it's camera 6. Starts off, comes out of the woodland, and then all of a sudden it seems to trigger the camera again, but whoever it is shouldn't be there. They haven't got permission to be there. It's only me. I've phoned the landowner Chris.
What he found, however, left him both excited and shocked. In the dead of the night, the camera captured a dark figure moving among the trees. The creature was bipedal, and its structure suggested it was quite large. Once he saw the creature, he had his own theories, but he uploaded it online to see what others would say. Some thought it was a person moving around in the dark, while others believed it had to be our favorite big guy, Bigfoot. Being the Bigfoot enthusiast that he is, he'd already concluded that there was a high possibility that the being was Bigfoot. He just needed to confirm, and the fact that some thought it was the big guy himself was enough proof for him. You guys have seen the clip. What do you think we're dealing with here?
There's a figure at night time that's in the right-hand side of, I believe it's camera 6. Starts off, comes out of the woodland, and then all of a sudden it seems to trigger the camera again, but whoever it is shouldn't be there.
This next footage was taken by the security guards from a school in Brazil. It was pretty late at night when they heard a loud banging sound coming from the school building, so 2 of the guards set out to investigate. As they approached, they noticed something else eerie. The lights are flickering ominously. The tension is thick in the air as they venture deep into the school, drawn by the unexplained sounds. But here's the kicker. Just as suddenly as it started, the noise abruptly ceases and the lights go out. These vigilant guards check every nook and cranny, inspect the lights, and even examine the fuses, but they find nothing amiss. So what could have caused this chilling disturbance? Was it a mischievous ghost, or perhaps something far more sinister lurking in the shadows? Amidst a field teeming with overgrown produce, we have a capture that's bound to tickle your imagination. Imagine setting up your Trailcam footage and coming across this image. There isn't much to dissect, just a multitude of plants and a black-furred creature standing beside a tall plant. The creature's head sports a slightly elongated top, and its expression appears rather stern, as if nothing humorous has crossed its path in its lifetime. This capture is impressive, but the creature's identity remains uncertain. Is it just an ordinary ape-like creature going about its day, or are we dealing with something more, perhaps a Bigfoot? It's hard to say, but my money is on it being a Bigfoot. What say you? A group of friends decided to go on an adventure deep into the woods one night. The thrill of exploring the unknown had them excited, but as they ventured further, an unsettling feeling began to creep over them. It was as if something was watching them, lurking just out of sight.
What the fuck is that?
One of the guys, feeling particularly uneasy, pulled out his phone and started to scan the surroundings with the flashlight on. that's when he saw it. In the darkness, there stood a massive figure, towering and menacing, staring directly at them. The sheer size of the creature was enough to send chills down their spines. As soon as the creature realized it had been spotted, however, it quickly ducked behind some nearby bushes. The footage is very blurry, so we cannot make out the creature well, but the boys described the creature as having the proportions of a Bigfoot, large, hairy, and with an unmistakable presence. The sighting was brief, but it left them all shaken. Was it really a Bigfoot, or could it have been something else entirely? Personally, I'm not buying it, but please do share your thoughts.
What the fuck is that?
It feels like shit, Mitch.
Wild, right? If you're anything like me, you're probably wondering how he's still alive, and the answer is simple: science, or insulation, depending on how you interpret things. Electricity is one of the most important resources in this modern world, but as important as it is, it's also dangerous. This video right here shows an electrical lineman working with a high-voltage power line. From the clip, we can only see his hands and arms, and that's enough to give us an idea of how he's still alive. He's wearing gloves and protective gear. Although he's working with super high voltage, his special gear keeps him insulated. The tiny sparks we see are only there because of tiny bits of electricity jumping between the wire and the lineman's body, like a small electric tug-of-war happening really fast, maybe 60 times a second. As cool as they look, you won't survive interacting with them without special gear, so stay away from electricity or enjoy it from afar, like we're doing with this clip.
It feels like shit, Mitch.
Are there Bigfoots in Ohio? If you thought, well, no, then this next footage will truly prove you wrong. In this capture, we see a mysterious figure amidst a sprawling forest with black and white leaves, protruding branches, and visible grass. Though unclear what this may be at first glance, closer inspection leaves no doubt. This is none other than Bigfoot. It's huge, towering as tall as a tree, covered in thick black fur, and in its right hand, could it be Bigfoot on the run with a baby? It seems like history may be repeating itself, a tale of a human baby raised among animals mirroring the story of Tarzan. Tarzan 2, perhaps. It's hard to say, but what do you think the probability of this happening is? Do you even see what I see at all? Let me know in the comments section. If you made it this far and haven't hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment, could you do that before we go on? Thank you very much, because it means a lot. Moving back to today's episode, we have something bizarre and controversial. Do you see that bizarre-looking artifact? What does it remind you of? A mermaid, right? It has a face to resemble some form of humanoid creature and a tail that's definitely fish-like. It's definitely got to be a mermaid. The owner of the place, however, states that this is no artifact. In fact, according to him, these are the actual remains of a mermaid. He is always found vigorously defending these claims and presenting a historical account of the artifact. Many have expressed doubts about these claims, and I must agree. While the artifact's face may resemble a mermaid, its tail appears to have belonged to a very ordinary fish that's very clearly dead. The store owner, however, sells merch branded with this supposed mermaid. Could this supposed mermaid simply be an artificial artifact made by the store owner himself? Could it all simply be an exploitative tactic to make some more money? Still on near-death experiences, take a look at this footage that was taken by a passenger on a plane that had lost its wheels mid-flight. It was a United Airlines flight that had taken off from Los Angeles Airport. The footage shows a view through the windows, and everything outside looks surprisingly smooth. As the camera panned around the cabin, you could see that most passengers were calm, though a few were chanting, "Brace, brace, brace." Despite the terrifying situation, the pilots and crew managed the crisis expertly. The plane even landed safely without any incidents or casualties, an incredible testament to the skill and competence of the crew. Even though it ended well, it was undoubtedly a scary situation for everyone on board. A scenario like this would certainly test anyone's nerves. Next, we've got some captivating footage from a home security camera in Mexico that caught something extraordinary on a stormy night. It's evident from the clip that the camera is positioned outside a house, providing an elevated view of the surroundings. The night is alive with the flashes of lightning and the rumble of thunder, creating a dramatic backdrop for what's about to happen. You can also see the sea in the distance. Suddenly, out of the darkness, a light appears. It moves steadily from the horizon towards the land. You can even see its reflection shimmering on the surface of the sea. A second look at the light, and you can tell it's some sort of craft, despite being so far away in the dark. No human crafts move the way this appears to move, and not many human crafts have this much light emanating from it. This leaves one possibility of an alien spacecraft. But is that even possible? Well, Aaron, our conspiracy theorist, and hundreds of others who believe in the paranormal believe that's the case. What say you? Still on the bizarre and spooky, hold onto your hat, folks, because things just took a turn for the downright bizarre. Feast your eyes on this enigma caught by a trail cam. We've got a green, scaly-looking thing. I say thing because it's hard to even classify this one. It appears to have two tentacle-like appendages, which I guess might be legs, but there's no head, no discernible features, and frankly, it looks like something straight out of a sci-fi flick. It's even hard to believe this was captured on a trail cam. Just when you thought you'd seen it all, the universe throws this curveball your way. If there are things like this lurking in the woods, maybe staying indoors isn't such a bad idea after all. Speaking of which, perhaps I need to cancel that camp meeting I never wanted to go to. Next, we have a trail cam that captured a rather bizarre creature roaming the woods at an ungodly hour. Amidst a thick canopy of green leaves, broken branches, and slanted tree trunks, the camera captures a ghostly figure clinging to shattered boughs. With an appearance reminiscent of century-old cobwebs, almost like a wraith with its gray face resembling a smoke-filtered mask, it lacks eyeballs but possesses empty eye sockets, wooden hands with only 2 fingers, black fur, and visible front teeth. If I ever encountered something like this in real life, I might just be scared out of my wits. But the question remains, is it even real? If it is, why is it roaming the woods? What happened to it? How did it become like this? Has any one of you encountered anything like this, or at least heard stories or legends about creatures like this? If you have, could you please share? We'd really like to know. If this clip looks familiar, it's because I have shown a similar creature in our past episode. While the semblance is striking, this is a different clip that's got me thinking. Last time, many of my team members thought this couldn't be real or true, but here it is again in another clip and in another location. Could it be that we were wrong? Could it be that there are creatures like this out there? So many questions, yet no answers. Rest assured, though, we intend to fully investigate this creature and give you a report soon. If you aren't already subscribed with the notification bell on, this might be the best time to do so. That way you can be updated when we drop our research on the creature. A team of scientists in Australia has made a groundbreaking breakthrough in the field of electronics. They've engineered bacteria to produce protein filaments that are capable of conducting electricity. These filaments, called nanowires, can also harness power from moisture present in the air. The higher the humidity, up to 30%, the stronger the current produced by the nanowires. This innovative approach combines protein engineering with nanoelectronics to create a sustainable and eco-friendly method for producing electronics. The traditional methods of producing electronics involve using toxic materials and require a lot of energy, which is not only harmful to the environment but also expensive. However, the use of nanowires could represent a more sustainable alternative that could even generate power from our breath. While still in the early stages, this research holds immense potential for the future of electronics. The development of green electronics has been a long-standing goal of scientists, and this breakthrough is a significant step towards achieving that goal. With further advancements, this technology could revolutionize the industry and pave the way for a more sustainable future. What do you think this is? I don't know about you, but this is giving me alien vibes. If you've ever watched the Predator movie series, you will understand. Whatever this is looks like it just landed from a spaceship and is ready to cause some trouble on the new planet it just landed on. It's clearly a humanoid and appears to have no clothes on. It's fit, slender, and maybe even muscular. Its body is reminiscent of something you will associate with an alien creature. Is it one, though? I'd like to believe so, but what do you think? This image originates from a trail camera located deep in the woods. A creature can be seen from afar moving toward the camera. As we examine this picture closely, its imposing figure suggests it could be a dangerous creature of immense size. It's hard to deny its resemblance to the legendary Bigfoot with its substantial form and what seems to be a shaggy coat of fur. Yet, as with many cryptid encounters, the true identity of this being remains elusive and shrouded in uncertainty. Do you think this is really a Bigfoot, or is there something more at play? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. This woman was driving across a bridge, just going about her everyday business. Everything seemed perfectly normal until out of nowhere a car from the incoming lane hits her truck and she suddenly veers off the road. Her dash cam captures every terrifying moment. Given she's driving a semi, she goes through the steel rails like it was butter, which leaves a car teetering dangerously on the edge. The hood of a car flies off from the impact, and the vehicle dangles halfway over the edge of a bridge. It's a close call. I mean, she was literally seconds away from disaster. You can almost feel the adrenaline and fear she must have felt in that moment. It's like one of those scenes where you can't help but hold your breath, hoping for a miracle. It's chilling to think about how differently things could have ended. She was lucky to escape this near-death experience without having met death. Not many can say that. Humans have come up with countless explanations for a lot of things, but death remains a profound enigma. No one really knows what happens after we're gone, or if we even truly are gone.
Look, guys, gone in 2021.
Wait.
It's a wild guess why, but
Look.
we're running
binary
codes here, guys, off the thing.
Get away from me.
Guys, we're right here at the cemetery, and this person was gone in 2023, and we're collecting binary codes. We have both of our phones on airplane mode, so it collects no binary codes at all. But when you get close to her grave, look, you had a number right there. Get close. Look, 2022, guys. Binary codes up the ass right there.
These men are no different. and decided to visit the graveyard to run what I would call a little experiment. They had a device that could detect data and present it in binary code. With this device, they decided to approach graves and see if they would pick up anything. When they approached the grave of someone who had died in 2021, the device started presenting binary codes which were supposed to be coming from the grave. They tried the same thing on another grave dated 2023, and the device again read codes as soon as it got closer to the grave. Is this evidence that the dead are not as silent as we once thought? They did believe so, and that's what they were trying to communicate. But individuals under their post had a different take. This user, for instance, believes that they were recording data from the graphene rather than the individuals in the grave. Julius isn't here to teach us or inform us of this fact, and I also couldn't find anything online when I did my research. If there is an expert amongst you who can explain what's going on here, please do so in the comments section. I would pin your comment when I see it so we could all learn. Until that comment comes, what do you guys think? Could the dead really be attempting to make contact, or are we just recording data from the natural environment like these users said?
Look, 2022, guys. Binary codes up the ass right there. There's information coming out of the graves, guys.
Stepping away from these ancient lizards, let's take a look at astral beings that have been with us since the beginning of time. Ghosts. I'm pretty sure some of you might have scoffed at the idea, but take a look at this security cam clip. The one who uploaded this believes that there were ghosts in this clip. Fog doesn't usually look like that, nor does it assume such shapes, but this one did. And it was not just at a single spot to be a coincidence, but at two different spots. The beings looked like they were moving toward the house, and the one who posted it stated that strange things had been happening at night in the vicinity. The strange occurrences were what necessitated the need for a camera, and this footage proves beyond reasonable doubt that there are at least two ghosts responsible. At least that's what the man believes. What do you think? Are we seeing things that are not there, or are these two figures actually ghosts? Share your thoughts in the comments section. This Instagram post featuring a strange ring in the sky has caught the attention of many, and naturally it caught ours as well. The post sparked a debate about the existence of portals, which are believed to be gateways to other dimensions. Also, the concept of portals has been around for a while. There hasn't been much evidence to prove their existence. Upon reviewing the footage, it seems highly likely that the ring was created through CGI. The video has a few elements that appear to be unnatural. That doesn't necessarily mean that the idea of portals is false, but it does raise questions about the authenticity of the footage. It's not uncommon for people to mistake natural phenomena for portals, but it's also possible that the ring in the sky could be a result of weather events or a trick of light. Despite this, many people still believe in the concept of portals and believe that they can be used to travel between different worlds or dimensions. What do you think? For the longest time, we hear scientists warning us about global warming, saying that the Earth is going to get hotter and hotter. But I guess nature has a sense of humor. Take a look at these hailstorms, ice falling from the sky. We're talking about hailstones the size of golf balls or even larger, wreaking havoc on everything in their path. Cars get dented, windows are shattered, and crops are destroyed. It's like nature's way of saying, "Think you have me all figured out? Well, think again." What's even more puzzling is that these hailstorms often occur during the warmer months. Just when we think we should be enjoying summer sun, we get pelted by ice from above. How does this align with the narrative of a warming planet? I mean, if the atmosphere is supposed to be getting hotter, shouldn't we have warm water falling down to us and not solid chilled ice? Well, it turns out there's a science explaining it. Hailstorms occur during warmer months because thunderstorms driven by warm, moist air rising and creating strong updrafts can lift moisture to altitudes where it freezes and forms hail. Global warming increases the energy and moisture in the atmosphere, potentially intensifying these thunderstorms and making hail more likely. Despite the overall trend of rising temperatures, local weather variability still allows for cold upper atmospheric conditions necessary for hail formation. Thus, hailstorms are consistent with a warming planet, demonstrating the complex and dynamic nature of climate change. I know the last part was a bit complex, but science is always complex when Julius is away. I miss that guy.
Why is you looking at me sideways? Why is you coming at me sideways? Do I know you from somewhere? What's up with you?
A man was walking home one night when this stray cat approached him. As you can see, the cat's head is unnaturally twisted sideways. Despite this, it appeared fine and started to walk toward the man. It cried out to him, and as it got closer, its cries became more unsettling, almost as if it were trying to communicate something. The man, feeling a mix of fear and curiosity, kept his distance. I mean, if I were him out at night and a kitty cat came to me in this state, I would keep my distance too. The way the cat moved, combined with its unnaturally twisted neck, gave it an almost otherworldly presence. Aaron, our in-house conspiracy theorist for those new to this platform, is convinced without reasonable doubt that this cat is a skinwalker. I wanted to believe this too, but someone made a profound statement in the comments section of the original post. He suggested that the cat's twisted neck is a birth defect, not anything supernatural. Once I read the comment, I wondered why that never came to me in the first place. Anyway, what do you guys think it is? A bad skinwalker transformation or a cat with a birth defect? Share your thoughts and, if possible, experiences. I will be reading.
Why is you looking at me sideways? Why is you coming at me sideways? Do I know you from somewhere? What's up with you?
Have you ever wondered what a being that was half snake and half human would look like? Well, want to know more because the one who sent us this clip believes he'd captured one. Take a look. I know the object we're considering is quite distant in the clip, but pay attention to it. It looks like a creature with a long tail, doesn't it? The uploader, however, believes this is actual footage of a creature that's a half snake and half human. And before you ask, yes, there are such creatures. In fact, they go by different names in different cultures with slight variations and differences. The Hindus have the Naga, the Philippines have the Bakunawa, and the Greeks have the Chimera, which is a more complex creature. As much as I want to believe this clip is a genuine capture of one of these beings, there's something off about it. I just can't put my finger on it. Can you? I mean, what do you make of the whole clip? Conspiracies about our world leaders are as old as the offices they occupy, from them using clones and robots as doubles to them dabbling in things we can't mention yet. Today, however, we're taking a look at this clip featuring one, if not the most feared world leader in the world right now, Vladimir Putin. Do you notice something unusual about the arms of his bodyguards? They look fake, don't they? It turns out this is actually a norm for some security agencies. But why? The answer is simple. They keep their real arms hidden and near to their weapons so it's ready to go off at any time. Cool, huh? I mean, it's cool, but it's also a tad scary. Imagine having to live like this so you could preserve your own life. In the words of trusty old Uncle Ben, with great power comes great responsibility. Even if in this case the responsibility is making sure nobody can kill you. In 2020, a Facebook user by the name of Shanique Legacy, who lives in Florida, went live and shared a disturbing experience with his followers. He believed that a dog man was lurking around his house and terrorizing his family. This still image taken from his live video captures a blurry yet unsettling figure emerging from the trees. The image shows a creature with dog-like ears and one of its eyes reflecting light, giving it an eerie glow. The snout is very evident, and the creature seems to be looking directly into the camera. According to Shanique, the creature has been spotted several times around his property, often late at night. It will make strange noises, scratch at doors, and move quickly through the shadows, leaving the family in a constant state of anxiety. Despite setting up cameras and motion detectors, they could never get a clear image or understanding of what they were dealing with until this live broadcast. Once they saw the image, they believed it had to be the Dogman. The phenomenon of the Dogman is not entirely new. There have been numerous reports and alleged sightings of such creatures across different parts of the United States. They're often described as a large bipedal wolf-like creature with a human-like posture. Shanique's live video quickly went viral, garnering attention from both believers and skeptics. Some viewers were convinced that the image captured a genuine cryptid, while others argued it was a case of mistaken identity or even a hoax. What do you think, though? Not just about Shanique's story, but about Dogman in general. We've got a mind-blowing video sent in by one of our subscribers that you absolutely need to see. Let's dive into it. In this video, you see a man in a hoodie standing right in front of the camera. Everything seems normal at first, but then out of nowhere, something bizarre happens. The man suddenly gets sucked up into the sky until he completely disappears from view. Check it out into slow motion. It's just unbelievable. Look at that. Some people are saying this is an alien abduction. I've heard plenty of abduction stories, but this one is wild. The way the man is pulled up so quickly and vanishes without a trace is truly eerie. But here's the thing, it looks very unreal. While I'm not here to debunk alien abductions, this footage looks more like it's been edited, don't you think? Have you ever had one of those situations where you wished you had more security cams so you could see different angles of something that visited your yard? Well, this is one of those situations. This clip was captured by a home security camera, and even if you're no expert, you can tell that whatever it is, it's pretty short, not just by a little bit, but by a lot. Are there any creatures that fit this bill? Ever heard of the duende? They're sometimes referred to as forest dwellers and are considered small humanoid beings. Just like many of the other cryptids we've discussed on the channel, these creatures are hardly seen, and whenever someone believes they've captured one, their claims are met with skepticism. Looking at this clip, I'm tempted to believe that this is the real thing. The footage looks authentic and does not seem altered in any way. What would have added to the authenticity of the whole thing would have been a capture from another angle. But if wishes were horses, beggars would ride, right? Anyway, let me know what you think about this one in the comments section. Am I the only one who has random thoughts sometimes? By random, I mean things like wondering what death by fishes or ants would feel like. It turns out there's a place where death by fish could be as simple as breathing. See how the fish quickly gather around what the man threw into the ocean and gulp it up within a few seconds. There's no guarantee that these things will eat human meat, but there's also no guarantee they won't. The last thing you would want is to fall into those waters. I mean, if the fish don't get you, those waters look like they could finish the job. Am I just being paranoid, or do you see what I'm seeing? This image dates back to the 18th century and was found in an old home. It's a tiny human-like skeleton lying on its side with delicate wings on its back. On seeing this, the only thing that comes to mind is fairies. You know, those magical creatures we all loved as kids and believed to be purely imaginary. But what if they weren't just figments of our imagination? What if the stories we heard involving them were actually real, or at least based on real beings and real situations? If you're skeptical, take a look at these skeletal remains. The bones are small, but the structure is undeniably human-like, and the wings. There are no creatures in nature that will fit into this body. It's got to be something more, something different, something ancient. It's almost as though the tales of fairies, which we thought were just whimsical stories, might have been real accounts passed down through generations. But then again, perhaps my excitement is blinding me to the truth. What do you guys think? Take a look at this dog. Something is definitely off. Just watch its movements. There's an eerie, unnatural sway as it growls, baring its teeth in a menacing way. It's not just the aggressive posture, but the almost otherworldly way it moves that has people talking. Some believe this dog might actually be a skinwalker. According to Native American folklore, a skinwalker is a shape-shifting creature often depicted as a malevolent witch capable of transforming into an animal or taking on its characteristics. The unsettling movements and behavior of this dog have fueled these suspicions, with many pointing to the folklore as a possible explanation. But what if it's something else entirely? Could it be a medical condition affecting the dog's nervous system, causing these strange movements and aggressive behavior? Neurological disorders or even rabies could potentially explain such systems, though they would still be deeply concerning for the dog's health and safety. Have you ever taken a closer look at the hieroglyphics and paintings of ancient Egyptians? Well, if you have, then you might have noticed some peculiar drawings of saucer-shaped objects. These drawings have been the subject of much debate among researchers and enthusiasts alike. Some people believe that these drawings are evidence of the presence of extraterrestrial beings in ancient Egypt, while others think that they're simply symbolic representations of religious or spiritual beliefs. However, some argue that these drawings are proof that the ancient Egyptians have access to advanced technology or are visited by crafts of some sort. If this is true, then it would suggest that the ancient Egyptians were far more advanced than we previously thought. Some researchers have even suggested that the ancient Egyptians may have had access to some form of anti-gravity technology, which would explain how they were able to construct such massive structures at the pyramid. Of course, there is no concrete evidence to support any of these claims, and the true meaning of these drawings remain a mystery. Nonetheless, it's fascinating to consider the possibility that the ancient Egyptians were far more advanced than we ever imagined, don't you think? I know how you guys hate all things blurry, and I hate them too, but I had to share this one. These photos were taken by Sam Jacobs while he and his girlfriend were out playing the game Pokemon Go in August of 2016. The two were walking between Loveland Madeira Road and Lake Isabella in Loveland, Ohio, when they spotted the creature. Jacobs claims that this creature is what is known as the Loveland Frogman. He's very adamant about what he saw, though many claim it to be a hoax. He estimates the being stood at least 4 feet tall. Jacobs wrote in an email about his sighting. I realize this sounds crazy, but I swear on my grandmother's grave this is the truth. An interesting account if true. What do you think, though? deep-sea camera captured this creature in the ocean depths, which has left many baffled. This bizarre creature was a fish with the head of a boar with horns on its head. The original poster dubbed it the sea boar. This unusual sighting has piqued the curiosity of many, including myself and my team. Intrigued by the footage, we conducted extensive research, scouring scientific databases, marine biology records, and even folklore archives for any mention of such a creature. However, we found no documented evidence or references to a creature resembling this so-called sea boar. This discovery raises several intriguing possibilities. Could it be a new species that has eluded scientific classification until now? The ocean's depths are still largely unexplored, and new species are discovered regularly. This creature could be an example of deep-sea gigantism or an unknown evolutionary adaptation. Either that or it's just AI. What do you think we're looking at? If I told you I knew with certainty what this is, I'd be lying, and Julius isn't here to help, but thankfully we can still use our powers of deduction to come to an educated guess. As you can see, the individual in the clip uncovered this ancient artifact and brought out some parchments from within it. They aren't written in English, so we can't really tell what it says. For some weird reason, though, the individual burns it and goes on to keep exploring the items in this artifact. He brings out another artifact, which he cleans up and puts on as a ring. It's hard to say if it's some form of ancient ring or if he's just making wrong assumptions. Either way, the clip ends shortly after he puts it on. Naturally, this has us asking questions. Where did he go? What's the history behind those items? And why did he burn the parchment? If anyone can answer any of them from the clip alone, then please help us out in the comments section. In the year 2015, a family from Oregon went on a leisurely walk and took some pictures of the trees in their vicinity. Upon returning home, they reviewed the footage that they'd captured only to notice something peculiar in one of the photographs. In the photo they had taken of their little daughter, they noticed a figure standing over her. However, this figure was not visible to the naked eye as it was seemingly covered in a cloak from head to toe and appeared completely transparent. It was not a solid or visible entity, but rather a ghostly apparition that one could see through. The eeriest part was that their daughter had also noticed the figure, and in the image, you could see her standing and staring upward at the head of the entity. The family was left curious about what this entity could be. Was it a ghostly companion of some sort, or was there something else to this image? This was supposed to be your normal everyday weather forecast, but instead something strange popped up on the screen. Take a second look. Do you see it? What do you think this could be? Some think it's a bird, but I doubt birds can move that fast in the angles whatever it is on our screen was moving. Some in the comments section stated it was a Dementor from Harry Potter, while others also thought it was a glitch in the Matrix. Someone even added he had seen such things at least twice. I have my reservations about it, but I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. What do you guys see when you look at this? Please share your thoughts. Watch this and see if you notice anything strange. Did you see it? Yes. What do you think you saw exactly? The original poster thinks that some sort of demonic or spiritual entity floated upwards, and once it was out of view, a dark winged being came out of nowhere and moved across the sky. The person suspected that the thing that moved across the screen might have transformed. He was also open to the idea that it might have been taken by something more sinister. I must say, when I read the caption of the original post, I found it intriguing, but the more I watched the clip, the more I felt like these spiritual entities were nothing more than animals. If you were to ask me what I thought, I would say a cat ran across the street, climbed up some bushes, and then ended up scaring an owl or some other night bird that was perched at the top. The startled owl or bird then flew away to avoid the cat. This looks like the more plausible explanation to me, but many think we're dealing with demonic beings instead. What about you? What do you think?
So, we just seen this. Thought we'd share it with you guys. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
It's a real vivid circle rainbow around the sun, but then there's a second rainbow.
This video was taken in southern Oregon at a park, and what appeared in the sky is truly mesmerizing. There are not one, but two completely rainbow perfect circles. The smaller one sits perfectly inside the larger one, creating an incredible sight that almost looks too perfect to be real. Rainbows are typically seen as arcs, but under certain conditions, such as when viewed from a high vantage point like an aeroplane, or when the sun is at the right angle, a full circle rainbow could be visible. However, seeing two complete circles like this one within the other is extremely rare. Have you ever seen anything like this? Share your experience.
So, we just seen this. Thought we'd share it with you guys. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
It's a real vivid circle rainbow around the sun, but then there's a second rainbow.
And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you could share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one.